The first hot take of the evening I got is this. 51 upvotes on the Reddit machine. The bad guys need to be more evil and dangerous, or else there's no real stakes in the story. Beep boop beep boop beep boop beep. Hello? Is that Team Skull the best Pokemon team in the entire series? They just harassed the guy at a bus stop? Oh, I don't know about that. What do you guys think of this one? This one, I can kind of see it. At the same time, you know, he's probably the kind of guy who didn't really like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because it was mainly about Rocket Raccoon and all about saving the world. Is that what the kind of guy we're dealing with here? Because don't get me wrong, like, end of the world stakes can be kind of fun, but at the same time, Team Skull ended up harassing a guy at a bus stop. So, you know, like, it's an even fight. It's an even fight, if you ask me. As for villains, though, if I was to very quickly do an evil villain tier list, right? Well, Team Skull is obviously at the top, right? And Team Flare and Yellow are obviously down at the bottom. And everyone else is kind of like somewhere in between, you know? Team Magma and Aqua are okay. They're okay. I would say about that. If I was to do like a tier list real quick, it'd probably be somewhere around there. So yeah, some of the... Where's Galactic? Where's Galactic? Oh, you made it... Where's Galactic? What the hell? There's no Galactic in this tier list. This tier list... I'd put Galactic, like, up in A as well. I think they're... I mean, mainly because of Cyrus. I think Team Galactic themselves are... But Cyrus is pretty neat. I like Cyrus a lot. But you see, my favorite one is the one where they're kind of silly, and Team Plasma wanted to, like, separate people and Pokemon. So I think it could kind of work either way, you know? And these guys were trying to, like, destroy the world, and these guys just kind of sucked. I think the idea of villains being more evil and dangerous, ruining the stakes of the story, at least for me, doesn't really have any bearing on whether they're good or bad. It just depends on whether they're well written, which in some cases some of them are, and some of them not. What do you guys think of that? Legends Arceus probably had the most stakes. It kind of did, didn't it? But then again, I don't think Arceus would have let us have the bad ending, right? Arceus sent us back in time to fix the world. So if we didn't, he probably would have just sent us back in time again. You know? We need a villain Pokemon that isn't controlled by... What, a villain Pokemon themselves? Isn't that what we got with Pecharon? That's pretty neat, right? Okay, as much as like Sword and Shield, Team Yell, maybe Star, I just like it. I would say Star, I like Star. Star are pretty solid. I thought they were pretty good. I really enjoyed Star, to be honest. I thought they were pretty good. But either way, I don't necessarily agree. I'm just saying I don't agree. I don't think villains necessarily have to be this, like, world-ending chicanery to be good. I think they can be good when there's world-ending chicanery, but when they don't necessarily have to be. Right. I think this one was kind of mild. I think this one is definitely a little spicy. Definitely a little spicy. I don't know, maybe you guys have played Gen 3. The gameplay from immediately after Marville Gym to Petalburg Gym is a complete slog and feels like a chore to complete the second time round. I could not disagree with this person anymore. If anything, I think once you beat Marville and you're going from like Marville to like Lavridge to Petalburg, I think it's probably one of the most interesting instances in a Hoenn game. So essentially what you're doing is this, right? Let me get a map. I got a map, see? Ooh. I'm prepared. I'm prepared today, gamers. So if I draw them on a map, right? So you start here. You get the third badge. You go up here. You go to Farlaba, or Fallaba. I don't know how you pronounce it. You go to, Meteor Force somewhere here, because Team Magma, Aqua, or both, depending on which game you're playing, or up to some chicanery. Then they're off to Mount Chimney. So you go a bit back. You go to Mount Chimney, then Lavridge. And then it does one of my favorite things. I like it when Pokemon games do this. So you go to Lavridge, right? The entire time you went up here, there was like a sandstormy area that you couldn't go into. So you're like, it piques your curiosity. I like it when Pokemon games do that. They're like, they take you to an area that you can't go yet. You're just like, hang on, what do I do here? And then after, when you beat the fourth gym, your rival gives you the Go Goggles. So then when you have to go all the way back to Petalburg, you are like, hang on, what was that desert area all about? So you want to explore this area a bit more. And then you make your way back, and then you can either make your way back here, to which the ship captain can take you all the way back, or you can go through, or you can use Rock Smash, the new Rock Smash HM you got, to take a shortcut here. If anything, I like when Pokemon gives you choices, and I think Hoenn's map being designed this way was one of the premier examples of this. It was, in fact, I like this sequence so much, then Oras, once you get here, your rival gives you the goggles, and then she says... or he, depending on which gender you are, says, hey, do you want me to escort you all the way back to Petalburg for free? Right? And I'm like, well, don't do that. You gave me the goggles to explore the desert, and then you're going to take me away from the desert area over here? That kind of sucks, right? I think it's slightly worse in all rounds. Although you do have the option to say no, which I did, and I ended up exploring the desert and catching some Pokemon there. But if anything, I think the from Marville to Full Arbor, Lavridge, Pelberg, I think it's one of the better sequences. Oh, it's like a backwards R. Team Rocket reference. But I think it's one of the better sequences in the game. So I honestly don't agree in the slightest. I've only played Aura, so I don't know if it's the same. It's the same basically. The only difference is, like I said, once you get here. May gives you the option to like fast travel you here, which you can understand if you're doing which is actually very, very good for a repeat playthrough. But the first time you're playing the game, no, you want to. She gives you the goggles. So you want to explore over here, you know, and not to mention you explore this route, which is like the route that's like full of ash, volcanic ash, which I think is visually one of the more interesting routes in the entire series. So I don't know. I think this is an L. I'm not gonna. This is a bit of an L. I forgot. I've got some zoomers in here. You guys have only played Gen 6, 7, and 8. So, I gotta have some Gen 6, 7, and 8 takes for us. So, how about this hot take? How about this hot take, guys? Megas are the best thing to ever happen to the franchise, and it's ridiculous they expanded the concept after the... It's Reddit, guys. It's Reddit. We're bound to have some takes that weren't actually hot, guys. It's Reddit. Leave the Redditors alone, guys. Don't bully the Redditors. Guys, be nice. Don't bully the Redditors, goddammit. Oh, man. So, I know. Like, again, someone even said, not hot take, everyone loves me. Alright, this one though. This one's interesting. I think this definitely could be an interesting discussion. I'm interested to hear your take. I think they should stop making legendaries. This is the one I had in the thumbnail. They should stop making legendaries. In its entirety. No more legendaries. Now, if I was gonna steel man this guy's point, right? I think the point he might be trying to get at. He might be. I don't know. This is Reddit afterwards, so I do have to do a little bit of Reddit translation. Now, what do you guys think about the whole argument? Yeah, it's a legendary. Mimi already said so. Mimi already said what I was about to say. It's the legendary overpopulation argument. Remember, in the Kanto games, what do we have? We have the 3 birds and Mewtwo. And Mew if you're feeling extra fancy. And what do we have? I think Gen 4 is when it started to get a bit, you know, it started to get a little like, how many legendaries are we talking about here? What's going on here? Like Gen 3 got a little wild with it. You got the Weather Trio, the Reggie Trio, the Lati Duo, and a couple of mythicals there as well. But Gen 4 is when they were like, hang on. What's going on here? There's a bit too many fingers in the pie here. There's a bit too many cooks in the kitchen. You know? I don't necessarily disagree with that argument, but I think it really comes down to what you think legendaries are supposed to be. Now, if you asked me in the gens of old, one thing I really liked about legendaries is how mysterious they were. Like, the idea of just going into some random cave and finding Mewtwo there was like, I think was a really compelling bit of like intrigue, you know? Like you get invited to go to this one cave that only the best trainers are allowed to go in. And then when you finally beat the Gen 1, you're just like, hang on. That cave, I remember that cave. So you explore it, you get lost, there's an incredible maze, and then right there and you see this incredible Pokemon. That's stronger than anything you've ever seen before. I think that level of intrigue, I would say, is something to make very hard exist in the modern day, when like everything seems to get revealed before launch. Because right now, the idea of just having a legendary that just sits in a cave, it's just full of mystique and intrigue. I think in the modern day internet, can that sort of legendary really exist? I don't really think it can and have the same effect. And I would say my strongest argument for that is that, maybe it's not the strongest, but Mewtwo just sitting in a cave in Gen 6. Now, granted, there wasn't really a dungeon or an intrigue. It just felt kind of random having Mewtwo there. So they didn't really like hype it up or like add any intrigue or anything. But I think even if you ask me, just the idea of a legendary just sitting in a cave is just kind of like, I mean, it's kind of cool, I suppose. But I feel like the only reason I'd even explore that cave in the first place is because I saw like a post on like my Discord about the cave having a legendary. Do you know? It can work. But I think in the modern day internet culture, I think it's very, very hard to pull off. And you're talking about, and this is me, if you're talking about me, I'm someone who doesn't really keep tabs on Pokemon news. I usually just play the games. I know I'm going to buy Pokemon. I'm not going to read what's going on or like I'm not going to watch any trailers. I'm going to buy it. I know I'm going to buy it. I'm just a filthy, filthy consumer. So I know I'm going to buy them. So if anything, I'm the exact kind of person who would love that sort of intrigue. But even then, I'm just like, would it have the same impact? Especially when you have games like, you know, Ultra Sun or Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, where you get to really form the bond with the legendary. Or, you know, like Gen 9 as well, where like Koraidon, Miraidon, you get to ride with him the entire game. And it's only at the very end you figure out what he truly is. I think that sort of storytelling, when done right, can be a bit more compelling. it personally didn't intrigue me in Gen 7, I would say. But in Gen 9, it absolutely works for me. So I think this sort of, so I think if I was to, you know, given the best possible argument, I would say it's mainly due to legendary oversaturation. But I don't think they should stop making legendaries. I think that's a bit ridiculous, if I'm being honest. What do you guys think? I think legendary population problem is in existence because some of the Pokemon aren't designed to be legendary, but I'll put as legendary later on for some reason. I think that's definitely the case. I think they should definitely, like, if they're gonna make legendaries, I think it's up to Game Freak to explain to us or to, like, give us enough lore as to why they are. I think the best example of, like, legendaries that both feel like legendaries, lore-wise and even gameplay-wise, are the Treasures of Ruin. You know, like Wo-Chien, Chien-Pao, Ting-Lu, and Chi-Yu. I think these are legendaries that, like, really feel like legendaries. Because not only do you have to go through, like, a very strange pot, there's, like, these strange swords in the ground that you find. And then you end up, like, if anybody actually ended up going to, like, the school and, like, learning about them, the history teacher talks about them. And it's actually pretty bit of interesting lore. Like, these were, in, like, the Paldean kingdoms of old, like, people from far, was it east? Came from treasures, and then, like, they got, like, these are treasures that got passed from king to king, and they ended up getting corrupted by the greed of the very monarchs that they were passed on to, ended up manifesting into these horrible Pokemon. So, like, they're the manifestations of human greed, and I think that's a really fascinating lore, right? And you can even tell from their designs, their music, their designs, their ability, like, every single time you send one of them out, it, like, ruins everything around it, because, again, they've been corrupted so hard that everything around it feels the corruption. I think it's all about, it's like me said, it's all about the presentation. And I think while legendaries, like, say, like the Regieleki and Regidrago, I don't think those ones feel like legendaries, if you ask me. I feel like the Regis were complete as a trio, you know? So adding these two extra ones just felt kind of weird to me. Like, it didn't even in the game's lore, to be honest, I'm not gonna pretend like I read too much into it, but, like, even the game didn't intrigue me in any sort of way. Do you know what I mean? They really felt like filler legendaries. Like, they didn't really have any intriguing music. The designs were just kind of they didn't really have any, the games didn't connect them to Regigigas in any sort of way. Or, like, say, for example, do you know how in Gen 4, if you wanted to get Regigigas, or Regigigas, I don't know how you pronounce it, you had to have all the other 3 Regis to get him. And I know in Gen 8, the Crown Tundra, you have to have all 5 Regis to get Regigigas. But, like, why was it 3 before and 5 now? Like, was there any sort of lore reason that's explained to you? There's no lore reason that's explained to you. There's not even, like, a cool... Regigigas doesn't even make a cool design to resemble the fact that you've assembled all 5. You know, maybe he got stronger because he has all 5, and he maybe sheds that slow start ability. How cool would that have been? But it didn't really do much. It just felt like a filler legendary as a result. So, it really is all about presentation. I think Gen 9 did a very, very good job. Especially with Pecharunt, the Loyal 3, Treasures of Ruin, and the Box Art Legendaries. I think they all did a fantastic job with all of those, and I really hope they keep the momentum going with Gen 10. I'm cautiously optimistic, as I always am. What about Kitikami and the Loyal 3? Yeah, as I said, I think the Loyal 3 were also given intriguing enough characters. Granted, some of it was, they did make some of it into, like, a 5-minute YouTube video on their channel instead of incorporating into the game's lore, which I don't really like it when games do that, when they're like, oh, you have to, like, kind of watch a video or, like, read the wiki to get more information. Like, give me the lore in the game, goddammit. That's what you made the game for, didn't you? Write it in the game. Figure out how to give it to me in the game. So that's a bit annoying, but I still think the Loyal 3 and Pecharunt are pretty solidly done legendaries, I would say. So I think it's less that they should stop making legendaries, they should stop making filler legendaries. I think that's the correct take, I would say. So you're saying they couldn't have made Regigigas the Exodia of Pokemon? That's a shame they didn't. It could have been interesting if they did. Like, the idea is you have to sell it to me, right? Originally, there was only 3 Regis, and then you had the Trio Master. So why is there now 5? Like, I don't even know. The game doesn't even know. The game doesn't. I'm sure if I read the fucking Bulbapedia, there's some lore in there, but the game didn't do anything to intrigue me as the player. When I went into that history class and heard about the Tablets of Ruin, I was like, hang on, this is interesting. And I kept reading, and then you get them, and then, like, they have their own music, they have their cool, like, designs that, like, unlike anything else in the entire series. It was really, really, really fascinating. And they built, for a set of legendaries I had no feelings on before, I well and truly think they're probably one of my favorite sets of legendaries in the entire series, honestly. Like, lore-wise and, like, design-wise, I really like them. Really, really like them. Anyway, that's enough of that. What's the next one, though? Hang on, what have I got? What have I got next? What have I got next? Oh, this is an interesting discussion. Hang on. I know as a Pokemon fan I'm gonna get hated on, but I actually kind of like Pokemon. That is truly a hot take. That, well and truly, is a hot take, I would say. Yeah, would you guys think so? Strongly disagree. I think we all hate the series, if we're being honest. I think we all hate the series quite a lot. But you know, I think it's hot. You guys have to be careful. You guys have to be careful with this one. I did say we were gonna get hot. I did say we were gonna get hot on the stream. I did say so. Now another thing that would be a discussion. Pokemon sucks. I will buy every game. True. Actually me. Now this is interesting. I've seen good arguments for and against, and I thought this would be worth discussing. HMs were a good mechanic that should have been worked on more. I agree. I actually agree and disagree at the same time. To be honest, it's one of those things where if HMs never come back, I'd be happy. But at the same time, I do think they could have done it a bit more. They could have done it a bit more, you know? What are HMs? So in the older Pokemon games, there were hidden machines. Let me bring up a Wikipedia page, shall I? Let me bring up Bulbapedia. Bulbapedia, help her. Essentially there were you know how like you can fuck. So essentially HMs so in the older games there were like things in the overworld that you could interact with. There were like trees you could cut, there was water that you could surf along, flying from town to town. Instead of having these things be innate to your character like they kind of are now, they were moves. So essentially if you wanted to like fly, you'd have to teach your Pokemon the move fly. If you wanted to cut trees down, you have to teach your Pokemon the move cut. The argument against it is that these are moves that would take up slots on your team where you could otherwise do moves that were more interesting. The arguments for, I imagine, are that they actually made team building somewhat intriguing. Like say for example, I play an old Pokemon game. I have to incorporate into my team a Pokemon that can fly if I want to be able to fast travel, and a Pokemon that can swim. So essentially in every Pokemon team I build, I have to have like Flyer and a Surfer. And while some people will say that kind of like restricts my creative team building, others will say, no, that makes your team, like, that makes you more invested in your team, more immersed in your team, because they actually help you out. They are Pokemon that help you out in the gameplay. And currently at the moment, I'm actually replaying Gen 1. I'm playing a ROM hack called the Kanto expansion pack. And having to have a flyer is a little bit annoying, I'm gonna be honest. Because like, every single Pokemon that could be a flyer I've already used, so like, maybe it's because I played Gen 1 too much. But it's like, what, Pidgeot, Fearow, Dodrio, Aerodactyl, since it's a Pokemon Red and Blue ROM hack, Charizard or Dragonite don't learn fly, so I can't use either of those. And that's kind of it. And I'm just like, I don't want to use any of these Pokemon, what the fuck? It's annoying! And I got Luke in here. Luke, my man, what do you think of the HM debate? Which side of history are you on?
I don't know, actually. I was watching something about it earlier on, which is very good timing.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why people hate it, because I hate it as well. But I also think that, like, it's weird the ways that they've tried to, like, deal with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you've got like, almost like taxis in Gen 7.
Yeah.
I can't remember how they dealt with it in Gen 8. I'm trying to think now. You had like basically your bike essentially did most of the work, didn't it? The Rotom bike.
Yeah, essentially, and you could fly around. Let me just get some takes from the chat. Half agree. Locking progress behind them was cool, but forcing Pokemon to stop with weakness was not. Yeah, I agree with that. Also, for some reason, they made it so you can't delete them, and without some NPC, that's usually late game. I think that was annoying as well. HM slaves were funny. That's my argument. True, Pip Arrow was really, really funny. I'll give you that much at least. Honestly, the worst part about them is that you couldn't delete them. I would say if they were to bring them back, let me delete them whenever. And if that would cause a situation where I'd get stuck, just have there be a panic button that resets me to my house or something. I don't know, just something like that. Because I do like them. I do like the fact that they are moves that can interact with the world. I just don't like that. Like I'm forced to use them, as people are mentioning. You know? Yeah. And then as Raw said, yeah, I think if a lot of them were actually useful in battle, that could be good. But essentially dealing with moves like Flash, which, by the way, just to remind you guys how shit these moves were, right? In Gen 1, Flash had an accuracy of 70% for no reason. So even if you wanted to use it in battle, it was dog. And then on top of that, Fly was also like Fly's also not even that good. For some reason, it doesn't have 100% accuracy. I don't know why. And then in the gens of old, it also had like 70 power, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that. I think it had a lower. Yeah, look, it was increased from 70 to 90. So in like before Gen 3, it wasn't even the strongest flying type move in the game. It's like Drill Peck was way more useful, and Surf was a good one. Surf was actually one of the good ones. This is like the premier water type move you'd want to use on a Pokemon. Strength was like good, okay, I suppose, but even then,
I hate the strength mechanic.
Was that?
I hate the strength mechanic because there's some where you just like completely fuck it up and you're like, oh no, and then you have to like reset the whole fucking puzzle.
I would disagree. I think strength puzzles are probably like the best use of HMs. I would say, like if for example you replace Surf with a surfboard, flying with like a flying taxi, and cut with like a fucking sword in your inventory, I wouldn't care. I think strength puzzles were kind of fun. I quite like them, honestly.
I hate them.
I like strength puzzles. Strength puzzles are alright. I think those are the only ones I'd keep. And then Whirlpool was like the award for the worst one. This one sucked. You needed it for like. Was it?
I said I'm telling Walpole you said that.
Good, tell her. Because like you only need it for like one dungeon, and the move just fucking sucked. It was so bad. Waterfall was just like Waterfall just usually locked like the final dungeon. Yeah, Defog. At least Defog I know has a bit of competitive usage. I'm not really much of a competitive ender, but at least there's some use now. You know, they repurposed it to be somewhat useful. But yeah, I think in Defog the original Diamond and Pearl pattern, you need for like one route in the whole game. And even then, you could like you could see quite decently. The only annoying part was that it cut your it lowers it like ruined your accuracy if you went into a foggy route, which was really annoying. But that was kind of it. At least dive. Okay, dive is one that I actually loved. I loved a lot, Luke. I'm not gonna lie. I was actually thinking about it. Diving underwater is like one of the most criminally underutilized gimmicks in the entirety of Hoenn. Honestly.
Yeah.
Actually criminally underused. It was to the point like I loved like in Gen 3 one of my favorite things were stone. I always hated the fact that stones were really hard to come by in post Gen 1 because in Gen 1 you could just buy stones, but in Gen 2 I was like, let's just make it really hard for no reason. But at least in Gen 3 you went underwater, you had to go to these like you had to find like secret diving spots to like dive in certain areas, and you had to find like little alcoves where like there would be shards, and then there's a guy you could trade your shards for different stones depending on the color of the shard. I thought that was actually a pretty cool way of incorporating diving. I wish they did more with it. I really wish they did more with it. But most of them, as we've seen, most of them are just kind of. Especially, honestly, I'll never forgive Hard Gold Soul Silver for adding Rock Climb to Mount Silver. Honestly, actual dog shit. Fuck Hard Gold and Soul Silver for that. Honestly, like it meant that in what's it? At least in the original Gold and Silver, right? You could bring your full team of stacked 6, right? Yeah, you had to like navigate a dark dungeon, but if you remembered if you literally looked up a walkthrough, you have to go left once and then up and then right. At least you could bring your full 6 stack team, and you had to have a rock climber. You had to have a bib arrow with you. It was so annoying. It was actually the worst thing possible. I don't know if you remember that, but that always pissed me off every time I went to Van. Hello, Hasbro, how you doing, man? For Surf, I just use Rhyhorn Evolution. Rhydon. Oh, actually, as a brief tangent, in the terrarium in Blueberry Academy, there's actually like an underground alcove that you have to like swim to get to, and over there's a Terra Rhydon that's water, and he's like, stuck on this island on his own. I thought that was really, really funny. That's actually a really funny reference to surfing Rhydon. Yeah, HMs were just like, I don't know. I feel like in the modern day they could make them work if they actually tried, but do they have the time to? That's the issue, Luke. Do they have the time to? And it seems like they never do, don't they? Seems like they never do. Right, let's get another hot take. Let's get another hot take. I got a couple more Reddit ones, and then we're gonna look at the chat. Luke, you better have your hot take ready because we're gonna argue. We're gonna argue a lot, okay?
Yeah.
You better have one ready.
I have it ready.
Right, let's. How about this? How about this one? My hot take is that hot takes are overrated and really just an arbitrary gob. Okay, sorry, my bad. That one accidentally slipped in there. My bad. 90% of hot takes are dreadful, and I'm glad the game for it. True, that's actually just true. Do you know what will make you upset though? I've had a couple of funny ones, but do you know what will genuinely make you upset, Luke? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
This actually hurt my feelings. You guys aren't ready for this. Read that, Luke.
I like to box my starter the first opportunity I am able.
Could we please like have a wellness check on this man? Could someone have a wellness check on this man? This is the first one I saw where like it genuinely made like actually moved me. You know, all the other ones I'm just kind of like, that's kind of funny. This one I'm just like, you're fucking evil, bro. What the fuck? Oh my lord! I can't think of a single game where there isn't at least one starter I like. You know. Can you believe this man? Can you believe him?
Unbelievable.
Unreal, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
In what game would you even do that in? That's the question. Like, what game is so bad, heart full of... Yeah, this is just diabolical.
Gen 5, maybe. That's it.
Was it Gen 5?
Gen 5, yeah.
Even in Gen
maybe
5, you at least got Snivy.
Maybe Gen 6. I was going to say maybe Gen 6, but Froaky's actually good.
Yeah, Froaky's actually good, so... It's Gen 8.
I'm a 5 stan, so...
Listen, hey, you got, what's it? Gen 8, you got a Scorbunny, so that's already sorted. That's already sorted.
Hey, Muse, guess what? Oshawott fucking sucks.
Hey, be nice. Be nice. I like Muse, okay? I like Muse, okay?
We do love Scorbunny, though.
If it's Sobble, I'm gonna fuck this person. And listen, I have got a Sobble hoodie somewhere in my room, so I'm a Sobble enjoyer, okay? I'm a Sobble enjoyer. But yeah, this was genuinely evil. This was like the most evil thing I've seen. Right, are there any more? Oh, this is actually interesting. Actually, you know what? 2 years ago, I would have been like, "Fuck you," but like, in my mellow Pokemon, in my mellow era, Luke. I'm in my mellow era when it comes to Pokemon, right? I'm very accepting of other people's wrong opinions. But this is actually just true, isn't it?
Gen 5 fans are the new Gen 1ers and are much, much worse.
Real?
I don't think they're much, much worse, but I think they're probably right.
No, I think they're worse. Mainly because I was a Gen 1er, so like by saying the Gen 1 fans are the worst, that kind of like abdicates me of any responsibility. So, yeah.
I disagree, because whenever I've run into Gen 1ers, a lot, I can't play other games and I can't do this, and they're not the original 151. Where it's like at least the Gen 5 fans, like, yeah, I've played the other games, they're just not as good as Gen 5, and then they'll just keep referencing Gen 5.
No, I don't know. I saw a Gen 5 at like Lidl today, and he cut me off. So I don't know. He like skipped the queue. So what do you have to say to that, Luke?
I have to say that Thunder Phoenix is right. Gen 5 are actually good games, unlike Gen 1. So
hey, you can't say that. What the hell, Luke? That's mean. That's my childhood.
This is great because you're a Gen 1er and I'm a Gen 5er.
True. We're just yelling at each other. Which set of 150 is the better one set, basically?
My
set has the 3 magnet balls, okay, that fuse together, and we have the 3 moles, and we have the 3-headed thing. All good things come in 3s, and that's why so many Pokemon are 3-headed. All right. Hell yeah.
It's unbelievable. Look, all I'm saying is they ran out of ideas in Gen 1 and then they got the ideas back in Gen 5 just fine.
True. Right. This is good, though. I like this. The I'm Your Friend rivals are better than Silver will ever be. I see it's so often. I think we ended up chatting about this, didn't we? Where it's like, the new Pokemon fans will like who are used to friendly rivals will see Blue and be like, what the fuck does anybody see in him? And us like Gen 1ers who grew up with like Blue and Silver will see like the likes of How and Hop and we'll be like, what the fuck? Who are these? Who are these fucking hillbilly Nancy Ann motherfuckers? Who are these people? You know?
Yeah, I think that this statement's too general because, like, I'm not putting the Gen 6 rivals in the same category as like
Gen 6 are its own. We don't, Luke. We don't talk about them. Okay, they're the black sheep of the family. All right, and not black sheep because they're just slightly different. They're black sheep because they end up getting. No, listen, they went down dark paths. We don't talk about them. Okay, we don't talk about them. All right. What's this? Someone says Nomona better. I do like that. I like how Nemona's just so one note. I love her, to be honest. What else was there? Depends on if they actually have characters. What?
Yeah, sorry, just cut you off. Nemona caught a whole new team when she was under the Mochi.
Yeah, because she loves Pokemon that much. She's crazy.
Someone drew the route that she took to go and catch all of her new Pokemon, and she walked around the whole fucking island before we saw her. Under the influence, while everyone else is doing the dance and that, she managed to go and catch a whole new team, and I think that's amazing.
If anything, if that doesn't... The Nemona haters are, like, in absolute shambles right now, because I've always been a big fan of Nemona. Like, I always thought she was a bit of a... She's one note, but she really plays that note to perfection. She holds that note, you know? So let's see the chat. The only friendly rivals I like are the ones in Gen 9, and that's mostly it. I think Hop was pretty good. I actually kind of liked Hop.
I liked Hop.
The thing is, joke rivals like Blue and Silver can be flat characters and still accomplish the goal of giving you someone you're happy to defeat rapidly. Yeah, I think that kind of leans into my assessment of this. I think the way Arsehole Rivals kind of worked for what Gen 1, 2 were, when the games weren't really so focused on stories, having a very simple motivation as, hey, I'm just better than you, fuck you, is kind of all you needed in a rival. Whereas I'd say, like, in the modern day, if you're going to have an arsehole rival who's just that, you kind of need them to be a bit more. Case in point, Bede, right? Bede at first was just an arsehole rival, but then he ends up getting, like, losing his sponsorship to the gym challenge, and as a result, he has to find a different path in life, and then he meets Opal, and then, like, he ends up becoming, like, her understudy. Like, that was a bit of a decent arc, right? Again, is it the most compelling writing? I don't know, maybe not, but, like, at least he went through an arc, right?
Yeah.
He went through something.
I think Kieran's the best arsehole rival they've ever written.
Yeah. And that's because he becomes your friend in the end, honestly. I like him. He's such a cool friend. Yeah. He's a good football friend. Football friend. I like him. We need a cocky... we need a cocky rival. We need a cocky friend rival to make it still appeal to kids, but give a good jab or two to the upper audience that can feel like they can join in beating the rival. I think a good medium is essentially what we need, and I think Kieran kind of struck that in a way, because at first he was a friendly rival, then he became a mean rival, then he became a friendly rival again. I guess it kind of did. Is it a hot... I don't think it's a hot take, is it, right? But Kieran's like the best rival in the series, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think that's a hot take, right? Any of the Zoomers going to disagree? Any of the Zoomers? This is an interesting discussion. What do you think, Luke? What do you think of this? I didn't see this posted yet. I really hope they never implement voice acting into the Pokemon games. Now, as a streamer, I would agree, because I love reading Pokemon dialogue, right? And like doing my amateur voice acting. As a player, though, I don't know. I wouldn't mind voice acting. I think voice acting would be kind of good.
I personally wouldn't mind it, but do you know what went through my head the other day? And it was literally because I saw the Nemona voice from the anime, and I thought, God, that's perfect. But the thing that ran through my head is, the Pokemon community is so toxic that they would probably tell someone to kill themselves because they didn't do the voice they wanted them to do and didn't picture it right. And I thought, actually, yeah, for the sake of voice actors, I'd probably rather them not be in the game purely for that.
Is it a bit like the same problem that this is a bit of the same issue that what was I going to say? Do you know when the original Yu-Gi-Oh series finished and they were making a second one, that voice actor for the main character ended up getting so harassed he didn't do any panels. He didn't want to like be associated with the fans at all, because like they all just hated him because he wasn't the first guy. Do you think that sort of thing would happen? Well, he just ended up like hating the character so much because of that. Is that you think would happen?
Possibly, yeah. The Last of Us 2 point's really, really good, because they actually just cast someone to be Abby, and I thought, oh, that poor girl. Poor girl, when the TV show...
Oh, yeah, isn't it? Yeah, man.
Someone made a good point. They've already got voices for Pokemon Master Sex, and that's a fair point, but no one tends to care about that game enough to be like, oh, they did it wrong. And it's like, okay, go and cry in your £20 game that you have to spend every week just to get some points. No one cares. It's different when it's the mainline Pokemon, because everyone's got such different opinions and they're all wrong, as we've seen.
True. Also, Infinity On said, is it too late for me to get SV? No, please play that game. The game is actually really good. Yeah. The game is actually really, really good. I make up voice for every character when I'm not the streamer, man. Yeah, I think making up voice is just kind of fun. So from that perspective, I like it. But yeah, I think Raul just gives us a happy medium. They should have an option to enable or disable, or they should do what Persona did, because you know, Persona, not every dialogue is voiced, like just the main scenes are. They could do that in Pokemon as well, because I would love to get an idea for what the developers want the characters to sound like. So that like I could like internalize that, if that makes sense, right? That's what Persona did, right? I know what the characters sound like, so when I read the dialogue, I'll read it in their voice in my head, and I think that's a happy medium. I think they could do that, or at the very least, even if they don't want to do that, do you know like how some games will do like the like so you get an idea of like how the characters make read it, like, or the tone of voice you should read this in, you know, like whoa, or like something like that. Maybe like a little bit of like a little voice sample in between dialogue, so we know exactly how the character's feeling in that moment. That could be kind of neat. Just a little something. You definitely need a little something, I would say.
Of the Persona things, like, I should write something every time you're going to save, and
yeah, I'll just add this. You know,
I think there's probably only like a couple of bits where I feel the game would really benefit, or at least the most recent game would really benefit from voice acting. It's probably, I genuinely think one of the only bits that would actually do better for it would be the mochi scenes. So they go mochi, and that. I think that's like the only bits that I think would actually enhance it with voice acting. I'm not sure many other bits would be better with it.
I would say so. I think I would like it. I would like to see them try. You know, I would like to see them try.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bit like how, WarioWare, which game was it? It's Gold. Gave us like full voice acting for all the characters, and I'm like, I want this. But then the next game in the series, they went back to like partial voice acting. I was like, fuck. I want my full voice acting again. Come on. Anyway, now Luke, this is going to be an interesting discussion, all right? I think the idea of catching legendaries is great, like you're conquering this big behemoth in a difficult battle, but in reality, it just tends to be putting it to sleep or paralyzing it, getting to red, and then spamming walls for the next 15 minutes. To me, that isn't a fun experience. Legendaries don't feel tough or scary, they feel frustrating. I think if I read this before Pecha, I would have been like, I don't know what you're talking about, but in a post-Pecha society, I want every single legendary fight to be just like Pecha now, where it's like a giant health bar, they're like really tough to beat, but then like once you beat them, it's an instant catch. I think all legendaries should legitimately be like that.
I agree. I think that way is a lot better. I know some people are going, why have I got 100% catch rate and all this stuff? And it's like, well, you've done all this work and it's taken me like 4 or 5 Pokemon to get it down to the point where I can catch it. That seems fine to me, rather than just going, oh, it's a case of chance and hoping that it all works out. I hated catching the Loyal Free because they were a pain in the ass. Catching Pecha, I found a lot more fun, and I was actually more interested in beating it and then catching it.
I think the way they could make the classic, 3 catch rate legendaries more interesting is because, like, for example, when I was catching the Loyal 3, I simply just looked up, like, Monkey Dory's moveset, realized he can't touch King Gambit, and just sent out a King Gambit to ruin his day. And then, so it was literally just me spamming balls there once I weakened it and paralyzed it. I think one thing that they could do, what they need to do, they need to bring dungeons back into Pokemon. Like, that's actually something they need to bring back. Like, because I was thinking about, I think, like, the ascent to Mount Coronet when you're stopping Cyrus is probably one of my favorite sequences, like most memorable sequences in a Pokemon game. Like, I think just going into a place and not having all the information right before you and just exploring a place is just really, really, really fun. And they need to start implementing that again. I really miss dungeons. Caves can go fuck themselves, right? Because I did not like it. Like, caves like the dark cave where they're just a cave to be a cave. I fucking hate them. Like Rock Tunnel, Mount Coronet, Mount Silver Cave. Give me these. I want like these types of dungeons, I miss them. So how you could implement, I was thinking, this is just me thinking on top of my head. I ain't a dev, I don't know how this would work. But like each legendary has a dungeon, and you can only bring Pokemon that you catch in the dungeon to it, if that makes sense. Like, you can bring one Pokemon with you, and the other Pokemon you want to bring to the fight, you have to catch in there. That way you can't just bring like an OP Pokemon and call it a day, And there's like a level cap on the Pokemon you bring in. So that way, like, there's like, you're like spamming balls at it, but you have the time limit of, is this legendary going to knock out your Pokemon? And the main reason I think that is because, like I said, I've been playing a ROM hack of Gen 1, and I've been catching the legendary birds, right? Now, I'm like level 35 at the moment when I went into the power plant, because I just got Surf and went there. And like, I've weakened the Zapdos, and I'm just throwing balls after I paralyzed it. But like, this Zapdos can one-shot all 6 of my Pokemon now. So I've got 6 chances, and it's really tense, and I really enjoy it. That was fun. I actually quite enjoyed that, because I caught on my last ball. I had my one Pokemon, and I threw it, like, that was actually quite thrilling. Something like that would be really, really fun. Paralyze, is it Gen 1? We're talking Gen 1 rules, where you could paralyze electric types. But yeah, that was really fun. So something like that. They could make it fun. But if they can't be bothered to do that, just give me Pecha.
Yeah, pretty much. I think LA King makes a fair point of, it makes the Master Ball, like, a little bit redundant, I guess. And it is fair, but, like, yeah, I don't know, because I don't use the Master Ball anyway, because I'm that sort of person. I just hoard all of my shit, and I just go, oh, I'm going to need that some other time. And it's like, oh, I don't do it. I don't use it.
Like, the only game I used, like, elixirs and ethers in were Black 2, White 2, where you could, like, where there was a shop inside your Join Avenue to buy more. Only game I use them. I don't use ethers or elixirs, because you can't buy them. I'm definitely like the hoarding Andy when it comes to RPGs, honestly. They did legendaries good in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. I think that was definitely a good way to go about it, I would say. I think that was a better way to go about it. But yeah, like having like a dungeon for each one. Because like right now, if you ask me, right, I have all the snacks to catch all the past legendaries in Scarlet Violet. I don't want to catch any of them. Because it'd literally just be me sending out my King Gambit, false swipe, 1 HP, sending out my fucking Sinistra, stun spore, and then just throwing balls until we're done. And that's it. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm okay. I don't need any of you. I've already got you my Pokemon home. I don't need you anymore, okay? I don't need any of you. I'm bored, I'm bored. Brother, I'm so bored. So yeah, the Pecha run away or like a dedicated dungeon. That's what I would say. Think that's fair, Luke? You think that's fair?
Yeah,
Right.
I think that's fair.
I think we should let's get into your Pokemon hot takes now. Let's get into the community's ones. I can't wait to see like some of the most coldest shit I've ever seen on planet Earth. Luke. Are you ready for this? Hang on, let me share my whole monitor. I can't wait.
I've got it up as well.
Hang on, no, I want to get my whole screen up so you can see him. You can see him for me. Right, here we go. Hot take number 1. Tricraft, my ninja. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are the best games. They have the best story, best box art legends. Arguably the hardest battle if you're not prepared for it. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that for free. The best OST. Also fun to shiny hunting. And also the best evil team, true. And on top of that, maybe the best overall selection of Pokemon. I might give you that. The Ultra Beasts were amazing too because they were just the most out there designs, like Kartana. What do you think, Luke? What do you think?
I wouldn't say they're the best games. I think that's a hell of a.
Let's go. Hang on. Let's break this down point by point. Best story.
I think it's quite thought of among a lot of people that undoes a lot of the story that was done in the first games. I think that my general thoughts on it is if Rainbow Rocket were the main team rather than the post-game story, I think I'd probably agree with you. But they're not, and for me, too much of it is the same as the last one that then undoes some of the important character building around Lusamine. So I can't say it's the best story.
I think I realized that. I think reading a lot of these Pokemon hot takes, a lot of them, like especially, and we read that thread on Twitter the other day, right? I think I've realized some people feel about SV the same way I feel about Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. In that, I feel like in modern Pokemon games, I'd say specifically from, 6, maybe 5 even onwards. I think a good chunk of whether you enjoy it depends on whether you like the story or the characters. I would say Gen 4 backwards, mainly about the gameplay, right? It was more like you're crafting the story. Yeah, Cyrus was the villain, but I don't think he was as active a villain as they have been in later generations. Does that make sense? So it really depends on whether you like the story or characters the game presents to you, whether you're going to enjoy the game. Because when someone says they don't like Scarlet and Violet, and I'm like, oh, why don't you like it? It's like, I thought the characters were stupid. So, oh, well. They're like half the story. So at least a good chunk of why I liked it, the Area Zero bit, were why you would enjoy that game, right? Because I think that was the part that really nailed the landing for me, was that the fact that the characters were so fun and the story was so bonkers, you know? If it wasn't for both of those, I think Scarlet and Violet would have just been okay. I would have put it in the same tier as Sword and Shield, right? But I think the way it wraps up and the characters being so well written just really, really nails it for me. So I think because I absolutely do not feel that way about Lily or Gladion or Hal, only character I've said this before in my video, which you should all watch if you haven't. It's just Guzman, that's kind of it. So I'd leave it at that. You liked Lily, though. You're a Lily simp.
I like the story, but even then I can't say that it's the best story. I just can't.
It's definitely a Zoomer take. The best box art legendaries, though.
I think they look really, really good.
Best, though?
I don't know if they're the best. Because I think I really like Ho and Lugia as well. I think they're probably some of the best. I think, obviously, Dialga and Palkia are good. Reshiram and Zekrom are really good. I think they're the most out there box legendaries.
Oh, definitely.
I do like them, though.
I think... What are my favorite box art legendary? I think it has to be Giratina. And it's not because I think Platinum is the best game. Giratina's design is just incredibly cool. You know, I really like his design. If I was to say, like, I think the Weather Trio are also really cool as well. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. I think those are really cool. That's probably what I would say. Arguably the hardest battle. Yeah, I think Ultra and Cosmo was a crazy battle. Best OST. When it comes to argument, whoops. Oh fuck! I scribbled all over. I can't even undo. When it comes to argument of best OST, hang on. Let me re-snip the comment because I've ruined it now. I've drawn all over it. Luke. I've ruined it. It doesn't work on the snipping tool. This app sucks. But yeah, when it comes to best OST, right? When it comes to best OST, I'm of the opinion that every Pokemon game has like an 8.5 to 9 out of 10 soundtrack, and that's just kind of it. I don't think there's any single one game that stands so far out. And then, I was going to say there's not one game that stands so far at the bottom. I would say that's BDSP. Remakes not included. I would say they all just hover around the 8.5 to 9 range. And I think there's just so little difference between each of them that, like, I am not comfortable saying one game has the best OST. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
it is Gen 5 though, but yeah.
Shut the fuck up, you loser, bruv. if I had to get bruv, chat to me. Oh, hang on. Sorry, the base department's calling. Do you know who's picking up? It's fucking Blue, the champion Blue theme. You loser. Every single rendition of that theme is the goated with the sauce, brother. What are you talking about?
It's not as good as Red and Lance, but
oh god, that's wrong. Okay, that's one of the worst. All right, I like the Red fight. He has one of the best worst battle themes, 100%. One of the worst champion themes, should I say? Sucks. The Gen 2 one in comparison to all the others.
No, man, I'm telling you, it slaps.
Wrong, just wrong. Luke. You're just wrong. How about that? How does it feel to just be wrong? Shiny hunting. Listen, I don't like the wormhole method because it's almost too easy. I'll just go in and be like, oh, brilliant! I've just got another shiny Quagsire. Thanks very much. That's another question, isn't it? Do you think shiny hunting's become too easy now?
It's become more accessible.
Do you think it's too easy though?
Not necessarily, but I think it's a lot more accessible. I think that's the way I'd put it.
I would say it's too easy. Would you say it's too easy though, Luke?
I don't think it's too easy, but it's easier.
Would you say it's too easy, Luke?
No.
Listen, we were boiling it down to yes and no's, okay? No nuance.
No.
Alright, it's all black and white, and I'm not just talking about the games. Alright, who's next? Mild Muds has our next take of the evening, Luke. As much as I still like the game, Heart Gold, Soul Silver just aren't as good as people say. I think I came to this realization in my video as well. I think, is this the part where, like, people turn on Gen 4 now? Because now that the Zoomers are taking over the internet and, like, Pokemon discourse is full of people who grew up with Gen 6, 7, and 8, right? Is it Jova for Gen 4? Is Gen 4 the Mario Kart Wii of the Pokemon games where the modding scene is the one thing that props it up?
Not sure.
Would you say, Luke? Would you say?
I've not played any modded thingies.
Like Renegade, like the Renegade Platinum and like all those, you know?
All I'd say is that the opinion around Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Oh, you cut out.
It didn't even come from the fucking speaker. You're joking.
Go on, what are you gonna
say? I played a wrong buzzer sound effect and it just didn't come
through. Oh no, you've ruined the meme. I don't even have it on my soundboard neither. I do have the foghorn, so like you can set it up and I'll play the foghorn for you.
That come through.
I won't come through the speaker, but they'll hear you on stream. They'll know what you're doing, alright? Okay, that did, but it was very, very, like, very low, like it was like 2-bit audio there, Luke. It was 2-bit audio. In fact, that's probably even funnier. But anyway, like, I think the internet has slowly started to turn on Heart Gold, Soul Silver's flaws. As the internet ages and people are becoming less nostalgic for it, I think people are starting to realize it's got a lot of flaws. And while I think the flaws are very easily fixable, I would personally love to make, like, you know, so essentially the ROM hack I'm playing on Gen 1 is called the Kanto expansion pack, and like it's their take on what Gen 1 could have looked like if they had like an extra year of dev time. That was like their philosophy going in. I would love to make an equivalent for Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I'd like fix the level curve. I'd like deliberately unlinearize the game by blocking off Mahogany until you've got badges 6 and 7, or sorry, 5 and 6. I'd make Team Rocket not utterly useless until like Archer. I'd fix a lot of the distribution as well. I'd make it way better. There's a lot of like small little tweaks you can make to make that like ideally the best Pokemon game, but you know, small tweaks. It's all about the margins, you know. It's all about the margins, eh, Luke?
Yeah.
Right. And of course, it wouldn't be a Pokemon discussion without the coldest take on planet Earth. And Elon Tusk in Discord specifically made sure he out-replied me to give me this, Luke. Can you believe this?
Yeah.
Specifically made sure he at-replied me. That's why the text is in yellow. He's like, you have to see this. You have to see this. Can you believe that? The coldest take on planet Earth. Unreal. Elon Tusk, you should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. Maybe a chilly take, I would say. A chilly take. I don't know, actually. Charizard is one of, if not the weakest, starter design, and although special privileges he's gone over the years, have done much to help. He's fundamentally a bad Pokemon. And honestly, at the point they should just give up trying to fix/revive him because of yet another Charizard gimmick. It's just boring and consumes time that would go to otherwise interesting mons. Now Charizard is overrated. Is there something vibrating over there, Luke?
No, it's the buzzer sound effect.
Oh, like what is it, bruv? Okay, all right. It's not working, Luke. It's not working.
Sound effect that I can do because I swear there's a built-in one.
There is an inbuilt soundboard, but I don't know if I've I do have gamer alert. I do have that. I do have that. If that counts.
Yeah, the buzzing sound's completely not good enough.
I don't have the buzzing sound, unfortunately. But as for like, Charizard is not being the overrated allegations, right?
No.
But in terms of design, weakest.
That's unbelievable.
That is an unbelievable. Charizard has a cool design. I just think he's overrated, and he sucks.
And I think the other thing that you have to think about it is you have to put a lot of context into when the design was made, which is it's the first, so we don't know what we're building off of. So everyone's just like, it's just a dragon. It's like, well, they're trying to start it off the series, and not everything's tied into something. Like by the time we get down to Cinderace, there's a football playing bunny. It's like, well, we're into like real specifics here, where we're talking about the gen, basing it off of what the region is, things like that. It's like it's a fucking cool design. It's a dragon. I love a dragon, and like it's not just. It doesn't get overrated because it's weak. It gets overrated because it's a decent design. The same way Pikachu is, or any of the other like whatever you'd call overrated designs. It's because they're strong designs.
Yeah. Was it like the three? It's the final Evos. What? Turtle, frog, plant thing, dragon. Like, well, that's just what they were working with back then. You know, it's just what they did. Yeah.
I think, which is more like dragons.
Yeah, and I like turtles with guns, and I'm glad they didn't go with the other design for what turtles going to evolve into, because it's lame and boring. Milk is proving the theory, which I think is just true now, isn't it? That every Pokemon is someone's favorite Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Because like Clink is a Pokemon I just don't think about at all. Mm-hmm. And yet, Milk gave us a statement. You know, which is pretty cool. You know, I'm glad you like Clink, but I can't really say it's one of the ones I've ever thought about. It's one of the ones, if anything, the most memorable thing about Klinklang is that people think it's an electric type because it learns a lot of electric type moves. It actually isn't. That's probably the only bit of trivia I can give you about Klinklang. It's got a funny name, at least, to say, right? At least. Now, of course, again, it wouldn't be a Pokemon discussion without the coldest take on planet Earth. Right? Again, Luke, can you believe this? Twice now this has happened. I thought my Discord would be better than this. Also, even though I disagree with this. The map is probably one of the coolest things about Gen 6. The fact that like Lumiose is this like center point that you kind of have to go through at multiple points in the game. I actually really like that. I think he's probably mistaken this for Sword and Shield, which I think the linearity of the like general path is really annoying. I hate that so much. But I actually really like. I think X and Y did it better than some. You know.
Yeah.
So be rich. I don't know what you're doing, man. I don't know. And of course, Mikau is on the right side of history. Honestly, the more I think about Scarlet and Violet, the more I think, it's actually the best game in the series. I might just, you know what? Fuck the golden era. We're in a new golden era. Embrace the change. You know? I'm just slowly becoming that. Do you know what I mean? Like, the more I think about SV, the more I'm just like, you know what? If you hate these games, but then someone will say performance issue, and I'm just like, you know what? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The lag is utterly unbearable. You know, at the beginning when I first played SV, I was like, you know what? The lag spikes are bad, but it's okay. Now when I play it, it's insufferable. I don't know what it is. I'm just annoyed with it now. So you know what? Fuck the performance issues. What are you gonna say, Luke?
I can't remember what I was gonna say other than we skipped Happy's, which was in reply to mild moods.
Oh yeah, because I mean, Happy's just like touching upon the same thing that like we spoke about, don't we? So like
a little bit. It's not just Soul Silver though. It's sort of like Diamond and Pearl shit.
Oh, okay, we go. She's not mentioning Diamond and Pearl because I think that'd just be too easy, wouldn't it? Platinum Star has a host of problems. Slow HP bar making it very fighter drag. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't know how much Happy is staking her claim on this argument. Like, is it annoying? Sure, but it's never really annoyed me. But then again, maybe I'm just simping. I'm just simping, Luke. My glasses are rose tinted. The Evil Team story is kind of It's kind of dumb. I really like Cyrus as a villain. I don't know what it is, but like the idea of some guy who came from like Sunny Shore City, right? One of the most it's called Sunny Shore City. He lives on the shore and it's sunny, and that guy became the guy who was like, you know what? You know the indomitable human spirit? The one thing that unites us all as a humanity? Fuck that. And I'm just like, what happened to you, bro? Oh my lords! He did? No, you meet his grandparents in Sunnyshow. You didn't go into. That's your fault. That's your fault, Abby. Exposed. Exposed. Hey, where's the alarm? Where's the alarm? Get the alarm from the thing.
My ears.
You can turn it down yourself. Really? Literally, that's the reason you know he grew up in Sunnyshow, because like they talk about, oh yeah, like Cyrus, he grew up and then I wonder what turned out of him, but then they have no idea what he became. I'm sure it's in Diamond and Pearl as well. There's a house in Sunnyshow where like you meet. Hang on, let me bring up the Bulbapedia for Sunnyshow. I'm sure they reference it, right? They have to.
You guys know that I'm the same age as Cyrus next year.
Wasn't he? Isn't he 27? You're not 27 next year.
25.
Is he 25?
I was pretty 25, yeah. Cyrus age platinum. 27, sorry.
You got it wrong. Yeah, it says it in the trivia, like Sunnyshow is Cyrus's hometown. But there are some NPCs. They don't reference it on the Bulbapedia. But like I think it's literally, I could point to you the house. I don't know. I think it's like, this house is someone. I remember this house. This guy gives you a can I big up the image? I think this guy gives you like a Poké chat. This lady gives you ribbons, or is it this one? It's one of these two houses. Because this was the lady that gives you ribbons for telling her stories, and this is Cyrus's house. And I don't know where this one is, and that's the market where you get seals and stuff. And the beach is where Jasmine is, and you can chat with her. She's just on holiday for some reason. But yeah, you can find her grandparents. That's how it is. There's one thing every Pokemon fan agree on: the best Pokemon game is Pokemon Brick Bronze. I don't know, man.
True. Some Roblox. True.
Is it? So it's 27. Yeah, see, bro, I'm actually such a Luke. Don't
get outside.
At least. Well, I don't export every generic house in the game. Happy's just coping. She's coping. You telling me you don't go into every house and talk to every NPC? You telling me you didn't have an older brother who told you make sure you go into every house and talk to them because they might give you cool shit, and you didn't do that? You telling me? Is that what you're telling me?
Happy, here's the thing: the game has to try and reward you for being explorative where possible.
Yeah. It's called game design. Happy, do you know about game design? I don't know, Luke. I don't think she knows about game design. I don't know.
No.
I think she's exposed herself though. But has Dave exposed himself? The CEO of Average? Terastalization is the best gimmick we've ever had in the series. It's not as broken and unbalanced as Megas, since it doesn't make good Pokemon get legendary stats, nor does it cater to a certain gem as much as others. It's not a nuke button like Z-moves were, and it requires you to think more critically than you were if you were Dynamaxing. What Terra does is give Pokemon sustainability or offensive power, and while there are other good Pokemon that benefit more than most, the ability to change your typing helps any Pokemon situations more often than not. I would say, I think Terastalization is the first gimmick I've seen. Like, do you know what? I'm kind of happy you're only here for one gen, because I'm happy to just see you go, you know? Because while I like the idea of being able to change your type, realistically speaking, once you get into the weeds of it, you're either changing your type to either match your type so you can get more damage, or Water and Fairy, because those are the most, like, sustainably defensive ways. So once you really get into it, like I think a weakness, right? I think Ice is, like, the odd. Ice and Steel are obviously, like, I think undertuned and overtuned, but I think the way a Pokemon's typing is deliberately made, kind of, it comes with the weaknesses of types are supposed to balance how the Pokemon works. For example, Toedscruel has Spore, which is a 100 power, 100 accuracy sleeping move, but he has an ability that like kind of makes him go last, and he's also got a dual weakness. He's designed to have a dual weakness. I'm almost certain they made that in mind so that they incorporated that into his design, if that makes sense. They incorporated the weakness of his types and the ability into his design, which I think by using Terastalization, you kind of break that. You kind of break the balance that Game Freak already did. And don't get me wrong, is it fun as a like gimmick? Sure, but I think competitively it could kind of like break a lot of things, you know? Yeah. I just don't think it works. I think Z moves are just fun. I think the nuke button is fun. I just think you're wrong. That's what I'm saying. I just think you're wrong.
It's a weird one for me. I understand what Dave's saying, but like 90% of Terras are not used offensively. It's normally defensively. I think the funniest thing about this generation is that Ice types got a buff by basically being able to not be Ice types.
Oh, that's true. Steel is more viable. I think in like how it works in OU, like since like Great Tusk is so common. Generally Steel isn't that good because like ground and fighting, you can just hit you for super extra damage.
Not me.
I'm playing OU because I'm playing OU because I like Goldengo and I love Goldengo. It's my favorite Pokemon ever, and fuck every other Pokemon. That's why I love it. Oh, hang on. Have we got an actual like hot take here? I'd love to hit, bruv. Planty man.
I know Planty's.
I know Shifu doesn't play Pokemon, so I'm not counting him. I'm not counting Shifu.
Fair enough. That's fair.
Shifu just hates my favorite Pokemon, and I don't care. Okay, that's pretty much what that boils down to.
My hot take is what you like.
True. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet does not have many great characters. Ouch. I have not finished the DLC yet, so the DLC characters might be more enjoyable.
I'm not going to fucking talk about this opinion then.
Yeah. We're just gonna move on, aren't we? But let's see. From the base game, he doesn't think they have great characters. During Gen 8, I really loved almost every character. And when the news came up that the next generation, I was excited for a new human. I don't know why I read that in Papyrus's voice. I don't know why. Human. And when I saw the characters while playing the game, I wasn't really that excited when I saw any of them besides the rivals and the professor. The gym leaders, I wasn't really wanting to see them really. There are a few guys like Rhyme or Iona that I might want to see more like, but it's not like I really want to see this character, put them back in the story more. I'm more like, that'd be cool if they got an actual rap scene with Rhyme. No, true. Gavin needs to stop doing the characters to have music without voice. Okay, that's true. That's got to. I just feel like a little bit disappointing, even the character designs are cool. They didn't really excite me in what they seem to do. Now, what I would say is, I don't think there's a single gen where I've looked at a gym leader and gone, do you know what? Maybe it's because, like, gym leaders are kind of meant to be like a boss and you kind of just move on. So, like, I don't think maybe it's just because the series has conditioned me. I don't think there's a single gym leader where I've gone, do you know what? I want to see more of you. I kind of just think, do you know what? You're kind of chill. Let me move on. Do you know? Does that make sense? Luke?
Yeah, sorry. I was just sort of saying, yeah, I think that makes sense. I think the other thing to think about when it comes to specifically gym leaders and what happened in Gen 8 is that Gen 8, you got to fight them multiple times because you had the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
You had the tournament and it's different. And I understand the argument you can make is, oh, but the coaches, you can bring them in and the thingy. Planty hasn't played the DLC yet, so it doesn't...
So I don't... Yeah.
As well. So I've never really cared too much for gym leaders, to be honest. Like, they're a pretty cool point to have in the game. Some of them are cooler than others. Others you just go there. Mainly the Gen 6 gym leaders.
I think Fonda says not a single... Sorry, I want to counter this. Sorry, Luke. I didn't mean to cut you off. Right? I didn't mean to cut you off, Luke. But Fonda says not a single one, to which I say... I think Gen 9's ones are the exception, because there's actually a mechanic to make you more invested in who they are as a person. So you get to learn a bit more about them. I would say in most games, though, they're kind of just a boss in a building. You chat with them a bit. You get to see their personality, sure. But then that's just kind of it. Do you get what I mean? So the game hasn't done a good job of making me want to care about these characters. So as a result, I don't care about these characters. Like, so when I went through the gym challenge of Gen 8, right? I thought, Karma was kind of cool. He's like some guy that was from Hoenn. You know, what made this up? I'm like, oh, okay, you're like, all right, see you later, bro. Have a good one. You know, he was gone. You know, Rayhan was like, oh, you double battle? That's actually pretty cool. You use weather? That's pretty neat. You're like, what? You like taking pictures? You're like, you're a live streamer kind of thing? Is that what you're going? That's pretty neat. I'll see you later, though. You know, like if there was like a character arc where like you met Rayhan and like you trained with him secretly. Maybe like if there was a scene right where you meet Rayhan, like in like somewhere in Hammerlock, right? He's like in a cafe and you're just like, fuck. Do you know what, right? Oh, hey, player character. Let's say Luke. Hey, Luke. Man. Oh, man. Do you know what happened? I lost to Leon again. Me and him used to be like, just like that. So close to each other. And he always seems to beat me so handily. Man, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, I don't know how he became this undefeatable champion, you know? I think for someone who's such a pinnacle of the region, man, there's so many people who like tried to reach his heights but didn't realize it. That's not necessarily his fault, but hey, man, it just kind of sucks, isn't it? Well, anyway, I guess I'm just rambling. Do you want to have a battle or something? I'm like, you know what? You gave me a little bit of depth into your character. You know what? I kind of like you now. But the games have never really done that. At least at least not until the coaching in Gen 9, I would say, right?
Yeah.
They haven't really made me care. So if the game doesn't want me to care, and it's just like, hey, this is a boss in the building, that's kind of it. That's what I'm going to think about them, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of my argument to it anyway. Like I said, I think Gen 9 having that coaching thing has made me like some of the gym leaders more. Like, for example, I really liked Larry and Iono's interaction when you call upon them in the special coach. Because like, they're like the most opposite personalities, like trying to have a chat, you know? Gen 5 was kind of cool. You know that scene when like they finally like all, you know, like help you at the end? That was kind of cool. Like, it's kind of it really, you know? Like, What do you think, Luke? What's your take?
On the gym leaders specifically, or the overall point?
Overall point, just wherever. You go.
The overall point, I think the thing that I don't understand is that you're saying, oh, the only ones I was excited for is Arven, Nimona, Penny, and the Professor. It's like, well, that's like the 4 main characters.
Yeah, this is the characters that like...
All of the characters that get any sort of development are those 4 characters. So if you liked them, you liked the characters. I don't know how else to sort of explain that. I mean, fair enough, if you don't like the gym leaders and you're expecting more, you've got different expectations to what I do. But... I liked all of the characters, and I thought that they were a bit better than Gen 8. I think they're the best that we've had.
Yeah, I would say so.
The main cast.
I would say so, but that's because they... Sorry, you finish your point. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, and play the fucking DLC. Please play the DLC.
But like that's because like they made you care about them, right? Like I've done a lot of trades with the gym leaders because I like talking to them. I like figuring what they're all about, you know? I like learning more about them. The game has gone through the effort to be like, hey, we've given you more interactions with these characters. Here you go. And I'm like, do you know what? Now that you have, I've noticed some of these gym leaders are actually really cool. Some people are mentioning at the ending of Black and White where all the gym leaders help you out. That was a cool scene. But like, do you know what I thought the entire time though, Luke? I'm like, do you know what? I like that you guys are here and you're helping with the 7 Sages.
Why weren't you here earlier?
Huh?
Why weren't you here earlier? Was that what you were going to say?
That, but also, I could probably take all of these guys on. I don't really need you, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, I spend my way to get all the way here. Do you honestly think I can't take down 6 other fuckers before I get to get sis? I like that you're here. It saves me a bunch of trouble. I probably could have taken this though. You didn't help me the entire game, and now you're helping me. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. At least Lance helped you out a bit in the Rocket Hideout, you know? At least Lance gave you a hand. Yeah. That was kind of cool. This is wrong. I like the battle addict with OCD, the terrorist, and the parentless child.
It's so true, Shifu.
Shifu, you're so right for this. But you know who isn't so right?
I've just seen the next opinion, so yes.
I don't know. It's got like 3 clap emoji reactions as well.
Damn. So who else is incorrect?
True. BDSP.
Dave, Ray, and Pokemichael.
BDSP are good games. Could they have been better? Yes, of course. But I think it's important to consider Ilka's situation. I don't think it is, but okay. The first time making a Pokemon game, likely on the clock too, onto the actual game itself, is very much like classic Pokemon. Okay. Visually, it's probably one of the better looking Pokemon games on Switch. Luke would disagree. I would agree though. I actually quite like the art style. The new Underground is fun to explore. True. The Elite Four and Champion go. True. You disagree, Luke, but I think it's true. The game engine isn't kind of sluggish anymore. Yeah, that's because of the art style, but sure. The soundtrack also does a good job of remastering it. If you prefer the old soundtrack, you can switch it back with an item. Yeah, you don't get that item until the... Firstly, no. Absolutely not. No. This soundtrack is the most garbage remaster on planet Earth. I'm going to use one example. The mixing on some of the tracks are genuinely the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Now, Luke, what would you say is like probably one of the more iconic route themes in Gen 4?
What's the one? Is it Snowbell City? Is that the one?
Route 216. Route 216. Correct, Luke. Right. So let me pause my background music. Where's my background music? Here it is. Okay. Let's play Route 216, shall we? Let's play a bit of it. Daytime. Let me turn it over. Hang on. Sorry. This is like most people's favorite song in the entire game, right?
It reminds me of Christmas.
You finally get to this frigid area, right? It's really cool. And then finally, once it's all done building up, right? One thing I absolutely like about this track is that it doesn't really feel like one instrument is stealing the show. Every single instrument that you hear is working in absolute harmony to create one of the most iconic route themes in the entire series, right? You can hear the bells. You can hear that instrument there, you know, the main melody. Everything works so well in tandem together. So what do they do for BDSP? What do they do for the BDSP? When they finally gets to the main bit, sorry guys, I can't hear the main melody over the sound of that fucking drum. Can you? Yo, drum guy, could you like turn it down a little? Just a little bit? Just a little bit? They mixed them. A lot of the tracks have this problem. I could ruin almost every track in the soundtrack for you, but I'm not gonna. That's my one example though. The mixing on some of the tracks are fucking atrocious. The drum guy was actually my best man at the wedding. Shut up, bitch. You know, hey, listen. This is my message to him. Hang on. This is my message to him personally. You suck. Anyway, so when you tell me, so just to kind of finish my point, when you tell me the soundtrack does a good job of remastering it, I would highly disagree. And if I'm going to replay BDSP, if I want to play like a modded version, I'm deliberately going to make sure I have the DS sounds immediately, so I can just listen to the old soundtrack. What were you going to say, Luke?
Whoever decided that the Lake Trio theme didn't need a bass in there needs a stern talking to.
True.
Because that song with the bass is so much better than without.
Yep.
And I can't.
That's another example. That is another example. Yes. I could go through the entire soundtrack and fucking painstakingly explain what I hate out of every single track in the fucking game, but you know what? I value my life too much than to talk about that game anymore. Anyway, if you also, again, the fact that you have to do it in the post game is really, really annoying. Where's my old music? Hang on, where's my music? Where's my background music? There we go. What's it? Fuck, I've drawn all over it. Let me recapture the image. Boom. All right, here we go. Reintroducing the special events is cool, especially since something that never got distributed in OG. I'll agree with that. HMs are no longer required to have on the Pokémon moveset. True. Allowing for more freedom of creative. Romanus Park was also fun too. I'm gonna be honest, I might make a dedicated video on this, honestly. I think the way past legendaries are handled is easily one of the worst things about modern Pokemon. They just like fucking put them in a place and call it a day. At least SV was like, hey, let's at least put them somewhere, you know, let's at least put them somewhere in the world that'd be interesting, you know? Too many legendaries, not gonna lie. True. Honestly, like, I hate you. So you're telling me you like Romanus? So I like to go to one building where there just happens to be a bunch of legendaries waiting around. At least Dynamax Adventures, you could justify it by like, hey, we got all these cool Pokemon, and like, you know, they got attracted by the Dynamax phenomenon. You can make some reason as to why they're all there. But SV again, I think there's a bit too many legends, but you could easily buy that, hey, this old fella just happened to see Articuno on Glisado Mountain. Yeah, I could buy that, right? Buyable. I don't like it. No, I don't like it, but I could buy that. Romanus Park is what you're going to stand up for? Don't know about that one, Chief. What are you going to say, Luke?
I don't know what I was going to say on top of that, other than if we were going to have an opinion on the opinion.
Yeah, I always keep cutting you off, that's why, Luke, and I'm so sorry for that. I'm the worst, man.
It's all good. I'm bad for it as well. We're just autistic.
That's how it is, isn't it? We both have a little bit of autism. That's how it goes. Jen, one of the reasonable quantities, but you know, onwards over there. I think we chatted about that earlier, Biff. I don't mind too many legendaries as long as they make the legendaries they do introduce interesting in some way. I think the thing is, a lot of the times when they introduce too many legendaries, a lot of them just aren't too interesting. Like the Lake Trio are quite interesting because they tie into the lore of the game. Like stuff like Regieleki and Regidrago, that's the one example I've got on the top of my head. There's probably other examples I can think of too. They ain't too interesting. Ultra Beast though, I found some of them interesting. Others not so much. But yeah, it really depends on what they're willing to do with it. You can add as many legendaries as you want. Explain to me why they're legendary, you know? Explain to me. Here we got Ray. Ray coming in hot. I saw the first line now, do you know what? It's got a Moi reaction.
Discussion over that piece over that opinion on BDSP.
About what? What particular?
Just like the end bit was what really got me. Is they made a remake.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Did I miss the last bit? My bad. Hang on. They remade
the Diamond and Pearl, not Platinum. And you know what? I think they.
Why did you make me read that, Luke? I think my whole life could have been better if I didn't read that sentence. Why did you make me read that?
Yeah, because that was the sentence that was really grinding my gears.
Was it? I can understand, but like I ignored it and I was happy. Now my life is worse. Having read that.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, Luke. You made everything worse.
I did.
But yeah. Also, listen. This is where, bruv. Guys, warning. I'm gonna do that. Where's my alarm button? Here we go. Warning, guys. Millennials gonna complain about capitalism. Something you've seen on the internet 7 million times, but hey, my multi-billion-dollar company remaking the worst of the two games? Oh, I don't know about that, Chief. I don't know. They have the money, they have the funds, they just don't want to. And the fact that we had a perfect version, and they decided not to because they knew they could get away with it. That's why they knew they could get away with it, and we'd still buy it. And guess what? We did. Because we're just sheep. We're just sheep in the end of the day, Luke. We're just fucking sheep. Lambs to the slaughter. And so is Ray here. What are you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I've had a thought on why I don't like the way that it looks, the way that BDSP looks. I think it's because of like it looking 3D and then all of like the repeating textures with the trees. It looks really uncanny. Like you can picture it in the 2D when it's top down. You can be like, oh, okay, it's just repeating, and you sort of get the idea. When it's 3D, it's so much more real, and you can almost like grasp it, and it just doesn't look right to me. So the other thing, the character snaps on the grid a lot, which really frustrates me.
Yeah, no, I hate that as well. I actually hate that as well. I don't blame you for saying that. Yeah, no, they just suck. They're just bad. They're just bad.
Yep.
I'd say they're just bad. How do you think religion works in Pokemon? Can we get a Pope in Gen 10?
Wasn't that sort of part of Gen 4? They sort of talk about religion a fair bit.
That could be interesting. I'd love to see them explore that. I'd love to see them. And then see all the atheists get triggered. That'd be kind of funny.
Pokemon.
Wouldn't it be kind of funny, Luke?
It would be hilarious.
Pokemon? Shut the... Okay.
I'm going to disprove it by, like, forcing them to watch my Pokemon evolve.
True! Actually true. I think having them all be in a group or trio really inflates the numbers and makes it feel less special. Again, I don't necessarily disagree. I just think if they make them interesting, I'm there. You know, I will be there no matter what. I don't know. Ray, the sea of classic Sonic, the worst kind of Sonic. I'm a big fan of Dreamcast Sonic, if you ask me. I know. This is going to be good. Pokemon Sword and Shield, my personal favorite games in the entries. He misses the part where he says this was his first game in the series, you know?
Yeah.
You forgot to say that?
Sick?
You forgot
Sorry.
Luke! Oh, man. Anyway. The wild area feels so immersive and fun to explore. Like, every day I try finding a Jolteon, and it forces me, and it forces it to love me in the Pokemon camp, because that's what any reasonable trainer would do, right? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, if you had fun with the whole Pokemon camp thing, sure. I didn't really care for the gimmick, if you ask me. Speaking of which, Pokemon Camp is an amazing tool to bond with your Pokemon and play with them, right? I want to see my Pokemon satisfied when I cook a dish.
No, you just said by accident, cook a kid.
No, dish. I said dish.
There was a little slip up there.
Cook a kid. I mean, you know, are we reverting back to monkey? Are we going to cook kids now?
We're going to take Billy from Route 1 and chuck him in this pot.
I mean, we are cooking these kids with these horrible takes, so, like, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of works out. That's basically what we're doing here. So, as for, like, the gimmicks, like the picnic or the camp or whatever else to, like, you know, like, bond with your Pokemon, I've never really liked any of them, to be honest.
I've never cared for it. I'm the same as you, I think, with that, and the contests. They've never really struck me.
No, which is weird, because I saw someone on the I didn't screenshot this comment because I thought it was trolling, but someone said they should remove the ability to nickname your Pokemon. And I'm just like, I think that's probably the best form of bonding that you can have. And that's the only form of bonding I really need, if I'm being honest. I think the other ones, like Pokemonomy, camp, picnic, they're alright, I guess. But,
yeah.
You know, that's just kind of how I feel about it. What was it? Leon is my favorite champion. Leon is a good champion, to be fair. And every time he comes to a team, I always see myself going, yes! Also, Sony is the best professor because damn she. Luke, me and women.
Magnolia before her was better, that's all I'm saying.
Total gilf, am I right? Total gilf.
Yeah. So true.
Listen. Don't take it like that, please. How did you want me to take it when you... How did you want me to take it, Ray?
Yeah, I don't see any other way you could take it.
Okay, what context do... You're literally objectifying her. What other context do you want me to take it as? That's literally what you're doing. You're not saying, I think Sony is the best professor because I think her exploring the story of, like, the Darkest Day and Zacian and Zamazenta while you're doing a story is actually quite a compelling way to tell a story. It's, damn, I got something in my eye. Like, what? You tell me, brother. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to That too? What did you... Listen, all I'm saying, guys, when I talk about Professor Sada and why she's like my favorite professor, she does look fine. She does look fine. That's not gonna be the first thing I mention. That's what I'm saying.
We love the caveman woman.
I love the caveman woman. She does look fine. But I'm gonna talk about her story and how she abandoned her kid before I talk about that. Yeah. Anyway. Hang on. I gotta re-snip the comment. Fuck. Why are there so many comments now? Oh no. I hate the snipping tool. Is there a better tool? There's probably a better tool. I'm just being lazy. Anyway. Right. Marnie is genuinely a cool rival. Personally, I'm just saying, any rival that you can completely write out the story and have the story be the exact same is not a rival that I call a rival. Anyway. Are you sure you didn't mean to say that? Okay, no, I'm not gonna go there. Anyway. I love it when she and her brother interact. No, that was actually sweet. Her and Piers' interactions were actually quite sweet. My opinion, Chairman Rose, Bede, Hop, and especially Oleana.
What?
Of all the characters to like add in especially Oleana, I thought she was alright. And then also your complaints are Hop, like probably one of the better written characters in the entire thing. Yeah, and Bede? Chairman Rose, fair, I'll give you Chairman Rose. But like, yeah, these three? Okay. Anyway, those characters can suck my balls. Damn. Roasted. Oleana stands in shambles right now. What are you gonna say?
I said so can Sonya, apparently. Jesus.
True. Anyway, I hate those characters. Making your Pokemon huge with Dynamax and watching it wreak havoc on the opposing Pokemon is fucking cool. I'll give you that. Also, the DLC, I'm just going to say, it's amazing because I don't want this message to be too long. Also, it's well, sorry, you meant to say Dynamax Adventures was amazing. Everything else is kind of shit. Yeah. That's what you meant to say. Also, yeah, I was doing that. Also, Inteleon. Inteleon's pretty alright. He's okay. My third favorite Pokemon, just behind Raichu and Jolteon. Such a badass. Final one, Mahozik. Gen 5 sucks.
You suck. You suck, right? Listen here, you motherfucker. You suck. Those are my game from when I was 10.
So it has to be the best, eh? Most of the Pokemon suck. Okay.
No.
The entire thing is just so forgettable. Mostly, I'm not trying to get in the video. I just have... Listen. I don't think you're trying to get into the video because you said Gen 5 sucks. I think you're trying to get into the video with this.
Real. Awooga.
Damn. I think that's the bait used to be believable. Alright, top 10 should we do listen, all I'm saying, Ray, in order to prove that part wasn't bait, I need you to recreate Guptil 89's legendary top 10 hottest female Sonic characters with Pokemon characters instead. If you can have that on my desk by Monday morning, I will concede to you that this is not bait, and I will keep this in the video. Anyway, let's see.
Hang on, Spongy, I feel like you've been too broad by saying characters there. We said women specifically, so you don't say Pokemon themselves.
Yeah. Blood is about to mention Gardevoir, and I'm like, oh, okay, brother. Yeah. He's about to mention Gardevoir, Lopunny, Vaporeon, and I'm just like, okay, alright, brother. Not the kind of video for me. Not the kind of video for me. You didn't even mention Serena. Come on now. I know. BDSP. BDSP were good remake. It's the Zoomers, I'm telling you. The Zoomers, the bonus about to mention Bruxish. Bruxish. Pokemon. Is this another classic Pokemichael take? Because like I feel like I just want to clarify, right? When I if you're wondering how does Sir Musty like operate? Like how do I get in the video? How do I get into a Sir Musty video, right? If you actually want to know, if you want to know like my thought process, right? Alright? I kind of separate people into two camps, right? This is generally how I operate, okay? So it's like a Venn diagram. There's like I wouldn't say a Venn diagram. There's like people I like. People are like, do you know what? These are people I like, right? So I put a big like, you know? These are people I like, right? So these are like people who are usually in my live chat, people who are usually active in the Discord, and there's the people who are like just like one message Andes, you know? So I'm gonna put a number one. So these are the people that like show up in the chat, try and like bait me with one take, never seen them before, never been here before. I'm like, you know what? I think you're just trying to get in the video, right? And then, so these are like the trying to get into the videos, right? And then like I have, and then there's like the mids, there's like the person in the middle, you know? I think Poker Michael goes into here. Poker Michael, I put a big P for Poker Michael. People like Poker Michael go into here because his takes like so unbelievable. I feel like he's just trying to get in the video. But you know what? He's always in the Discord. He's always in the chat. So I'm just like, there's like a cognitive dissonance in my brain. I'm just like, fuck. I really like Poker Michael.
Yeah.
But his takes are so atrocious. All of it. He's always here. He's always in the chat. I've had good conversations with him about like living decks in the Discord as well. I've chatted, like, he's genuinely a cool member of the community. I love Poker Michael. This community would not be the same without Poker Michael. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. But Lord have mercy. He's like, oh, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Something like this shit, I'm just like, brother, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So
it
like,
shows you it's the people around you. It's you know, you don't expect it. The people around you are the ones that are wrong.
Yeah, like Luke's saying that, like, you know, Gen 5ers aren't the new Gen 1ers, you know. So like that's generally how I go. That's if you're wondering what my mindset is, it's generally like that. That's generally how I operate. You know, I'm more likely to listen to your take if you're someone who's been like active in the community for a bit. You know, which Poker Michael is, but Lord. What is this? By definition, all Indie needs to do is take an old game and modernize it. BDSP does this, giving us 90% of the original Diamond and Pearl, and including the bugs that are fixed in Platinum before the day one patch. Now, I don't necessarily disagree, right? You're not technically wrong, right? But what I would tell you is, where are your standards? Where are the foggingest standards? That's what I would tell you, right? That's what I would tell you, all right? Because the foggingest standards are too high for you to be saying this, okay? Look at what Oras did. Even Oras. I don't even need to mention HGSS. Just look what Oras did, right? They gave us a game, right? They remade it. They remastered it. They gave us a new designs for the box art legendary. They gave us this cool new side quest or like extra story in Zinnia, right? And like, I would say that was a good remake, right? Hot God Soul Silver, again, complete, like, there's niggling flaws notwithstanding, or good remakes, right? If your definition of a good remake is just taking the old game and modernizing it, I would say, where are your foggingest standards? That's what I would say. What would you say, Luke?
I'd say my personal definition of what it is, and I know that this isn't what you're saying, Poke Michael, because you're saying by the definition they're good remakes. My definition is that they need to be modern games that are the best of what there is available right now. And if I can go back and play a better standard back in 2011, it was even before that actually, but you know, all the way back then it's not a good remake. Yes. Because I if I would rather go grab a DS, what's the point? Yeah,
that's what I would say is the definition of a good remake. I would rather play Oras over RS. So by that definition, it was a good remake. I would rather play HGSS over GS. So by that definition, it's a good remake. Whether you like them or not is entirely subjective, but that's my definition. BDSP, when we have Platinum, I don't know. They're faithful, but not in a good way. Exactly. A lot of people hate on it for what it isn't, a Platinum remake, rather than what it is, a Diamond and Pearl remake. No one's... Okay, we already debunked this.
It doesn't have to be a Platinum remake, because we didn't have to have all of the stuff around Giratina and Arceus that is in Platinum. What we can have is just updated bits that actually make it so I don't have to go and play Platinum for some of the other bits. Mm-hmm. Like, we've got enough fire types now. Give Ronald McDonald a fucking fire type.
You have to stop calling him right. He does not listen. Flint does not deserve that slander name. I'm standing up for Flint. Flint lives matter. All right, that's actually so mean. He's actually listen. If he was a badly written character or something, I could understand it. But like Flint is chill. He's like a chill fella. He's a chill fella.
You wouldn't catch me taking the knee for Flint.
Listen, man, let's leave it there. Let's let bygones be bygones. All right. By definition, okay, I already read this. Let me say, Platinum is still the ideal cinema experience. I don't know. My standards for what are good are a bit higher, I would say. LA King again. LA King with the Zoomer take. The Zoomer take. LA King, please report.
I need to know what he means by that. I need to know what he means by that, because some of them are genuinely terrible and people think that as well.
Alright, LA King, please report. I am issuing a gamer alert. Please report to the gamer lounge. Please report to the hot take waiting room, so I can sort you out. let's have a chat. I gotta have a chat with all my fellas. All right, Luke, I'll be good cop, you be bad cop, all right? LA King, my man, the Zoomer extraordinaire, overhyped. And let me read your comment in its entirety, because I didn't read it in its entirety. How are you doing, by the way? You good?
I'm doing good. The Zoomer kind of got me in the heart a bit, but
Zoom.
I'll look past it.
Let's see if he's beating the Zoomer allegations. Anyway, let me read your whole thing. Pokemon introduced in Gen 4 were overhyped and overrated. By all means, I'm not calling them bad or the worst ever. I'm calling them overhyped because of the non-stop love they get from the community, and overrated because I believe there are better Pokemon. They either share the similar features with other Mon or do their job better. I don't get hype around the Pokemon this gen. The games are great. I'm not dissing them. To which I would say, I think one of the reasons you probably see a lot of love for it is because Gen 4 did something that a lot of gens don't really do, which is they gave old forms new evos. Like, I think this is the gen that did that most. So don't you think they deserve the high praise for that? Don't you think so?
No, those are not the Pokemon I'm trying to diss. I like that they're giving Pokemon more like evolutions, or they're giving them more like justice in a way where it's like, oh man, this Pokemon didn't get nothing like growing up. It's like, I really like this Pokemon. I'm so glad we got like a Rose Raid, and like, oh, finally we finally got something cool for that. I'm trying to remember the other ones. A lot of the main ones, so like your Rhyperior, your Tangrowth, Lechard, Magmortar. I think all of those guys are pretty cool. Like, they're all invited to the
what would you say is like the best example you can give me right now of a Pokemon that says, you know what, I see too many people talking about this Pokemon, and it is dog. What would you say? What's your best example right now?
It is the entire line of the Starly, Staraptor, Starvia, and Shakes line.
No.
I do not get
that is unreal. Oh, but LA King. Like, he is, ladies and gentlemen, he is not beating the Zuma allegations. Ain't no way, brother. Staraptor? Really? Of all the Pokemon you're gonna diss, LA King, of all the Pokemon, that is an unreal accusation, brother. Do you not like his Mohawk? Are you just like Mohawk phobic?
No, I did not start playing. I didn't get my first taste of Gen 4 pretty much right after I beat Gen 5, because I guess I just skipped it because I always had Emerald for like the GBA like slot for like the DS, and then once I did Black and White, I was like, okay, cool, and I skipped Gen 4. So I went to a lot of at the time my friends were like, oh, you gotta check out the Staraptor line. It's like, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I had a fun time with the like a lot of other like flying types I used. I used it and I just didn't feel anything towards it in a way that, like, and at the time I was like, you know what, it may not be for me. But then later on, like before we get the Gen 4 remakes, I'm seeing everybody being like, and not maybe so like an argument, but every like more Pokemon fans, they're like, it's like, oh my god, Starly line so damn good, the Sphinx line so damn good. I'm like, it's like, really?
Listen,
like, I don't think it's amazing, but then everyone will be like, it's like, you're so dumb. How do you not like just funny stars? It was a fighting move. I'm like, okay, and
I think you're a mistake, LA King. You made the tragic error. I'm not gonna lie, this is like one of the video ideas I've had for a long time. I don't think I'll ever make it, but it's like how to enjoy being a gamer online. And I'm not even kidding. I would love to give a guide to people. I think one of them, like my top one, would be don't ever interact with the fans.
Yeah, I had to learn that the hard way.
Because I feel like you've been gaslit by the fans, LA King. Because I would say, if you're asking me, what is it do I like about Staraptor, right? What is it do I like about Staraptor? I would say, not only does it have a cool looking design, that red mohawk is just really imposing. It was like the first time, at least the first time I felt like, maybe Swellow was a step in the right direction. But it was the first time I felt like the Route 1 bird was given a lot of love, right? It gets Brave Bird, which is the new high power flying type move. It got Close Combat to learn such a strong fighting type move. As soon as it evolved, that early in the game was unreal. And you're probably thinking, your argument was, oh, it learns a flying type, and you're like, okay, and? I would say that okay, and is that flying types have a chronic weakness to rock. They can barely touch it. Now Staraptor can. It has a check. Well, not the best one, admittedly, because most rock types have high defense, but at least it has an answer. At least it's not completely walled by rock types anymore, right? And in a casual playthrough, that's exactly the kind of coverage you need. So if you're asking, and again, you get it early on, so it's bound to get a lot of praise for that, the same way Shinx does. I think Shinx, maybe a little bit overrated. I won't defend Shinx as hard. But Staraptor, though, as a Route 1 bird, definitely up there in the GOAT zone, I would say.
I will say this about we're bringing up Route One Birds. And this kind of brings up when I was talking about earlier, I don't hate the games, I don't hate the mon. When I say it's overrated, I'm not saying I don't really care for that much. When I'm saying like, okay, if you're gonna sit me down and I'm gonna say, all right, who's the goat of the Starbirds, and I'll say, okay, it's this order. It's like, why is Staraptor, let's say, third, because he's probably third or second. It's like, oh, I don't think he's like as cool as, let's say, like a Talonflame, stuff like that. I'm not over here, like I'm gonna make a death threat to somebody, be like, oh, you like Staraptor? Oh,
again, LA King, man. I think you just made the chronic mistake, man. I'm so sorry. I'm actually so sorry for you, man. You how they interacting with Pokemon? Why are you interacting with Pokemon? They're the worst people on planet Earth, man. How are you going to talk to Pokemon fans? I'm not a kid. Come on.
I was young and stupid like 4 years ago. What do you expect from me?
Every Pokemon fan.
Yeah. To be fair, I was also very argumentative. Not even just 2-3 years ago. So I don't necessarily blame you for that. But yeah, like I think one of the true nirvana is realizing that you just don't interact with fans, and then like or if you are like you find like one person like Luke who I can like actually talk to like a human being, and this is you kind of call it there, you know, you kind of call it there. But as a whole, I would say I think that's if I was to give my takes to why I like Staraptor. Again, cool design. It learns some very strong moves which the Gen 1 like the Route 1's birds never did. And you know what? I'd say it's one of the good ones. I can see why Talonflame I would say is better. You know, if I'm gonna do some Zuma representation. I like Talonflame. Talonflame's a homie. But you know what? I think the Staraptor hate is just unjustified, LA King. I think it is, man. I think it is.
You know what? I respect your decision, and I'm going to accept that about you, because I don't need to get mad over a simple thing like that. So, if you like Staraptor, cool. If you like the luxury line,
no, get mad at it. It's funny. It's funny content.
Yeah,
but listen, all I'm saying is that don't let these Pokemon fans, I'm putting it in speech marks, these Pokemon fans ruin your day, okay? You can let me ruin your day, because that's funny, all right?
Yeah. Okay,
but don't let them do it, okay? Don't let them ruin it, okay? Don't let them ruin it.
That's why I just usually am not like active a lot, because I'm like, whatever. At that point, I'm just gonna leave mine being me, and I'm
yeah, man. Listen. I love different Pokemon takes. Okay, we've cultivated a good community there. All right. Yeah, you have to wait until like right now we're in the good area, LA King. Okay, once I get bigger and I start forgetting about all of you guys, because that's what happens when you get famous. I'm gonna act like I don't know nobody, obviously. Then the community is gonna go to shit, and then everything's gonna be ruined. But for now, we're in the good zone. Okay, we're in the good zone. Enjoy the community for what it is. Okay. At least if you're gonna get bad takes. It's people like Michael who you know are chill, right? His takes are atrocious, but you know he's chill, all right? You know he's chill. You get what I mean?
We love Michael. He's the man.
What are you gonna? Do you want to say anything, Luke? Do you want to add anything?
Gen 4 just sucks.
Bro, he's Zuma pilled as well. I've got two Zuma. It's 2-on-1 right now. I can't believe this. But yeah, LA King. Good having you on as always. Have a good one, homie.
Oh yeah, of course. Thank you guys.
No problem, Chief. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Luke, how you gonna? You're taking a Zuma pill, honestly. You're taking a Zuma pill, Luke. I can't believe it.
I'm good.
Ray has the Pokemon Girls tier list ready. Send it in the game. Don't DM me. Send it in the gaming tier list. I want the whole Discord has to see. The whole Discord has to see, Ray.
We have to see it.
They all have to see. Right. Anyway, Pokemon. Let's see. Is there any more interesting ones? Let me just skip ahead a little. Let's just skip ahead because I want to wrap up this segment. I want to do some races. Let's do Mario Kart. I want to do some Mario Kart for a bit. Also, I think Gen 1, in spite of its game design flaws, a great example of simple yet effective with its story. Blue's characterization, this game's lore and the franchise. I would say so. Honestly, I think one of the best bits of lore building that Gen 1 did was Mewtwo. Because like in the Pokemon Mansion, a dungeon where you have to go, there are these like books strewn around. What?
Sorry, I'm really sorry. I've just seen the pictures Ray's used for some of these. What the fuck?
Are they really strange? Hang on. How some of these? Hang on, let me see. You got me good. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Listen, Ray. Listen. That is insane. Brother is cooked. Brother is cooked. Anyway, Anyway, I don't know whether I should be insulted or... Listen, Pokemon Michael, you should be complimented, okay? You should be good. I just want to clarify, right? I've removed people from this community for way less, okay? I want to let you know, okay, Pokemon Michael? You are the chillest motherfucker I know, but I cannot help but disagree with you harder than I've disagreed with anyone, all right? Listen, you're one of the goats. You're one of the goats. I'm being honest. I'm not even exaggerating. I'm not... I hope Pokemon Michael doesn't think I'm lying. He doesn't think I'm lying, does he? Does he, Luke? He doesn't think I'm lying about him, does he?
I don't think so.
I think I'm being genuine. Like, I think his takes are dog shit, but I like him as a person. He's really chill. I'm being honest. Pokemon Michael. It's like when my brother comes into the room and says PLA is shit, right? That's my brother. I'm not going to disown him. I'll punch him in the arm for it, though. And that's what I would do with you, you know? Let's see how it goes.
We're going to punch you. That's what we're going to do.
Exactly, I'm going to punch you. I want to be a terrorist. Just like in was it Penny, you know? That's how it is. Hang on, let's see. Oh, hang on. Somebody's like, wait, I agree with this. Thunder Phoenix is right. Plus, the main plot just being a gym challenge gives more prominence to Gens 2 and 4 without legendary Pokemon plotlines getting in the way. Not to mention, runs alongside the conflict with your rival trying to beat you the entire time, culminating in the fire boss of the game, which at the time was a fantastic plot twist. Also, Giovanni being the final gym you face also a fine twist. The gateway to connect the gym and the evil team plots at the end. Yeah, I think Gen 1 is like kind of underrated in the storytelling, I would say. It's simple but effective. It really is.
Yeah.
I think it works. I don't disagree. As a Gen 1er, I think you said everything. You said everything that I'd like to say. Let's go with my darling fiance, which if I speak, I'm in big trouble. So it doesn't matter what she says, I agree with her.
Well,
Marnie from Sword and Shield isn't that good rival character. Okay, oh, thank goodness. Okay. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
we're clear.
Skipped over Venom's one. I think you just said what? Pokemon games peaked at USUM. And I'm just like, hang on a minute. Okay, you know what? Let's read it. I took the bait. All right. USUM being the 4th game on the 3DS has got to be the best Pokemon game. Over everything on the Switch. Definitely Zoom appealed. You know, he put a troll face in my chat, so do you know what? I don't know. I think he's trolling, actually. I'm not going to read the rest of it. I think he's done. What was Trash Fist? Let's go to Trash Fist. So again, it's just you. I don't want to listen. It's just you Zoomers zooming on me. Okay, I've had enough. I've had enough of the Zoomers, man. Here's my Sun and Moon, my favorite Pokemon. It's just zooming. You guys are zooming. You guys are zooming too hard. That's why I skipped it. Okay, you guys are zooming. What's going on here? Here's my hot take. Sun and Moon are some of my favorite Pokemon games. For starters, the characters are some of the best in territories. No! It would be, rather than it would be Kui's being a really cool professor, true. Team Skull and Guzma being the best evil team, true. Lucy Mean, who's not only fine as fuck. Okay.
What is with you guys?
He's doing it on purpose. He's doing the meme. He's doing the meme. You know, Travis. He's doing the meme. I mean, to be fair, he's got some sussy Twitter account, so I don't know, man. Maybe he's not doing the meme. Maybe he has a lot of strange fan art over there. I don't know. But she was also a really interesting twist villain, and I like her story a lot. Not in the Ultra games, true. Some new designs were cool, like Vikavolt, Como, Galissapod starters. One thing I didn't like about, I think Gen 6 and 7 did this, and I hated it. A lot of the routes in that game had because they didn't really introduce as many new Pokemon, a lot of the routes had one new Pokemon and they were 10% encounter rate. And it really pissed me off that when they did that. Let me just bring up a random route as an example, okay? How about what's it? Here Island, right? Here City. Let's go to what's the route above it? Route 6. I could be completely wrong. I could eat crow right now, but I feel like a lot of the new Pokemon were hey, we're gonna make them really rare, right? So at this point, you've already seen a Grubbin and a Mudbray. There's no new Pokemon in this route that you haven't seen yet. What about I need a route where there's a Pokemon that you've not seen yet for the first time. What's a route? Oh, this route, Route 7, the mountainous route. I feel Salandit was quite rare, if that makes sense. You can't even get anything here. Where's the route where you can actually catch shit? Route 8? Is there something new here? Salandit's 20%. Stuffle's at 5. Why is Stuffle at 5? I don't get it. You know? I don't get why some of these Pokemon, some of the new ones. I want to see the new shit. Why is the new shit so rare? You know? They do that so often, it annoys me. And that's one example, but I feel like they do it. This could just be a feeling. I could be proven wrong very easily. But I feel like they did that way more than they should have, you know? Do you know what I mean? Anyway. Even though I missed the gyms not being a part of the game, I do think it was a great twist. You're not wrong. See, like this is just Zoomer brain because I agree with half of it and the other half I don't agree with. This is just a Zoomer take. Huh? You're just zooming all over me. Thomas though, oh my god, Thomas and Jerry. The spin-off games are way better than the currently mainline games. Damn. I just don't know.
Pokemon Cafe?
Yeah, Pokemon not like Pokemon Cafe and Pokemon Master Sex, yeah? Is that what he's talking about? Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know. Something's not perfect. I mean, Ray, you didn't help yourself. You used really sussy images. Okay, that's your fault. Okay, that's your fault, brother. All right, you did it to yourself. Yeah, you did it to yourself. Okay, that's kind of your fault. Anyway, I think that's enough. Luke, have you got one? Have you got a Pokemon hot take for us? Have you got a take? Let's end it with Luke's one. Luke, what have you got for us?
I mean, the original one I was going to say is the classic that you know of, which I do not care for Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum. But I feel like we've already gone over that. So my other one was going to be in complete conflict to Pokemichael, which is that I think Z-moves are the best gimmick of the lot.
Freezing. I'm freezing now, Luke. Are you happy?
You're freezing? Okay, I've seen everyone shit on it today. That's why I said that I thought it's the best.
Freezing.
Is it freezing? I've seen people shit on it.
I'm frozen, Luke. I'm frozen.
Venom shitting on it. I've already seen Pokemichael shit on it.
Oh, no.
But then again, it's exactly like...
If you're asking me, it's frozen, okay? Just me.
Okay.
Just me. No, because I agree with you.
Who thinks Z-moves are the best?
No one answer him. It's freezing, okay? It's freezing. This is Spongy's one. Spongy was upset I didn't show his one. But I agree! Like, Scarlet Valley would be the best game in the series if it was given pop-up. This is not... Bruv, this is ice cold! What do you mean? I agree! Everyone who actually played these games and isn't a zoomer, like, zoomer just zooming, agrees with this take. This is just the correct take. This is just correct. Right? Scarlet Valley would be the best games in the series if they were given proper polish and fixing. This is ice cold. It's actually true. They would be. 100%. Even I would admit that. Better than every fucking game in the series. 100%. But yeah, as someone who, like, recently, having played the DLC, I hate the performance issues. I actually get it now. It fucking sucks. I hate it. Urgh! It's annoying. Anyway, what would be my hot take? I don't know. What's my hot take?
You didn't have one because they're all correct.
True. I don't even necessarily think people disagree, but I think IGN were right. Is that hard to say? IGN were right. Hoenn does have too much water.
Yeah, the second half of that map sucks.
It does. Like, so I'm just like,
it sucks. Yeah.
So like, I don't even think that's that hard, but yeah, like they just suck. Isn't that the point? Yeah, but like, it can be the point and still suck. But like, that's pretty cold. Yeah, that's pretty cold. I feel like back in All-Rice's time, that would have been kind of hot, you know? Wet take. Okay, what is actually hot though? Is this like, do I even I don't even have any hot ones because all my ones are correct. I'm genuinely
not even have a go at me for not having a hot take because I don't know any. All of mine are just correct.
Exactly. Like again, Scarlet and Violet would be the best games if they had polish. Sun and Moon would be the best games if they had a skip cutscene button.
I've got a hot take.
I
think it's a bit of a hot take. I do not care for Eevee or the Evolutions.
Okay. All right, Luke. Just trying to get in he's just trying to get in the video.
I'm just trying to get in the video. You know me.
He's just trying to get in the video.
Always waiting to get in the video. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a reason right now.
I just don't care for them. I don't care about the original three all that much, especially Jolteon. Umbreon's probably one of the only ones I actually really like. Sylveon's good though. But I don't care for pretty much any of them.
I really like that Eevee's become the second mascot of the series. I'm a big fan.
I'm not against it. I just don't care for it.
Now you hate them, don't you?
Yeah, I need Diplin to be the next third mascot.
Diplin? Of all the Pokemon you're gonna pick, Diplin? Not even
how many Eevos it's got now?
It has a lot, to be fair.
We're getting there. We are. It's gonna be Diplin the next one.
I'm not gonna lie. This Eevee is the best Eevee. I'm not gonna lie. Gigantamax Eevee.
I don't care.
I actually love Gigantamax Eevee so much. It's so adorable. It's just a shame it kind of sucks. But I used to bring it whenever I would sometimes join 1-star raids on Dynamax raids, and I would just bring my Gigantamax Eevee, and I would just turn one evolve it. He's an adorable little fella. Listen, you're only saying that because you got Let's Go Pikachu, which is the worst game in the series.
It's the best game in the series.
It's
It's
the worst.
A tier, or at least S tier, and then Let's Go Eevee's like F tier.
That's actually the reverse. You said it completely wrong. You said it completely wrong.
No.
Anyway,
If you could have a third mascot Pokemon though, what would it be? Because I saw people joking, and I was saying like Diplin. It's like no, I didn't actually mean it when I said Diplin. But if you could have a third one, what would it
third
be?
mascot Pokemon.
Fuck you, well, but we're not having Rowlet.
Zoro was a good shout. I do like Zoro.
Zoro
would be a very good shout. And LA King, he's joined the Mosquire Royal Guard. Let's go. Remember, guys, become a member of the Mosquire Royal Guard. You get to see videos early. That's the only perk you get, other than a fancy badge. Thank you so much. He's subscribed on Twitch and on YouTube. This guy's crazy. He's crazy.
Unbelievable. It's because he wants his opinions to be thought as correct.
And it works now, because everyone who's part of the Mosquire Royal Guard has got a shiny badge that indicates their opinion's correct. So
opinions.
Come on, partner Eevee. Come on, partner Eevee was the best. Look at his face. Look at his face, Luke.
I like the colours on it, like the washed sort of colours to make it look like
the old Ken Sugimori art. I love it. Whenever people, I was browsing like r/Pokemon to look for hot takes, brother. Whenever people would post like new Pokemon in like the Ken Sugimori, I'd be like, yes. I love seeing that. This art, I just love seeing. Maybe it's just nostalgia, but I love seeing the art style. I saw one I saw one when I was browsing it earlier today, like last minute to get some toy. It was like Gouging Fire, I think. Oh, let's see if I can find it. Yes, it's right here. I found it. Look at doesn't that look so good? I fucking love that. It looks so cool.
That looks amazing.
Don't you think that looks amazing? I love when people do new Pokemon in Ken Sugimori art style. I actually love it. I want more people to do more of this shit. I honestly, I would love every Pokemon in this style, please. Anyway,
it's 60,000 calories max. I'm gonna start saying that in front of Eevee stuff. Oh yeah, that's probably 100 calories.
Shut up.
I'd eat an Eevee.
Was it Snorlax would be good? Snorlax could work. I think Snorlax could work.
Yeah,
definitely could work.
I think Psyduck could work.
Psyduck would be good as well.
Yeah.
Slugma balls.
Slugma.
That'd be kind of funny.
Miku. Yeah, Miku is now the third mascot with a mascot.
Mascot. Oh, British.
London.
You're from London.
I go outside and get stopped.
Greninja. I think Greninja kind of like. I'm trying to think of like what's a Pokemon that's a bit more low key but could use the spotlight. So something like something like Snorlax could kind of work. Do you know what I mean? He's a bit low key, but I think he could work. You know, Sandshrew. Yeah. Get all the Gen 1 Andys on there. You know. I'm upvoting this. Upvoting this post. Clefairy. Oh, Clefairy does that. Clefairy was shafted. Poor imagine being a Clefairy stan. You must be like in the mud, honestly. Because if you guys don't know, Clefairy was originally going to be Ash's mascot in the anime before they changed the Pikachu. So imagine we could have got Pokemon Pink. We could have taken the pink pill. Yeah. We could have taken the pink pill, Luke. Wouldn't that have been great?
Yeah, I love pink.
I love pink as well. Man. We are Knuff. Love Disc needs more love?
No.
Brother, it's cooked. Right, Luke, it's been fun. I don't have a hot take to leave us on. I think your one was hot enough with the evolutions being shit.
Yeah.
What's it? Mikau, let's before we switch over to transition us into Mario Kart. Mikau drew some lovely artwork while he just doodled some stuff. Doodle some stuff for us. And he drew an alternate artwork of me hitting a Koopa Trooper. Drive-by. Who was that famous celebrity that did a drive-by? I was trying to reference them, but I messed the bit. I messed up the bit.
I don't know.
No! Not the big... Okay, that's it. That's it, guys. I'm sorry. Hey, YouTube. I'm sorry. Whoa. Anyway, guys, it's been fun. Let's do some Mario Kart. Right, guys, get your Switches ready. Let's get your Switches ready. Right. Let's transition. Luke, if you wanna jump out, by all means. It's been fun having you as always.
Farewell, fellas.
Until the next time we. Okay, well he's gone. I didn't even get to outro him. Until the next time we discuss horrible Pokemon takes.